was a news story that they had canceled the robotaxi, Tesla would, like if the event was canceled or pushed back, I think this probably would have dropped more than 50 cents.
Yeah.
Right? So I'm going to lean to price action maybe. Look, again, there's been plenty of times where there's a story out there that we haven't seen and heard, and it ends up being out there. But I would suggest that Tesla probably would have fallen more than 50 cents.
It might have fallen $50.
No, something more than 50 cents. Whether it's $5 or $10 or whatever, it's not going to drop 50 cents if they they already pushed the event back in the first place. So there's a lot of anticipation going into this. If they push it back after earnings, I'm going to guess the stock is going to tank. But it's up 2% near the highs. So at the end of the day, I think ultimately it's still in an upward trend, even if it didn't work for me. I'm down on Tesla today. Obviously, some of that damage was done the last 2 times I just went long and it failed to 260. I was looking for this to have room into 262.5, the local high. But Tesla might just be getting a little top heavy up here. This is the resistance from mid-year, and it could just be in a consolidative phase. As I said, we have a couple of weeks to go until robotaxi, then earnings. So maybe it just wants to hang out here for a bit and consolidate off of the tops, seemingly having trouble with this 260 break.
We wrote down right here on our sticky note, Tesla 252 long. Great hold from yesterday, looking at that level, if it came into it. So there it is right there. Right, yay, again. All right, but it didn't come through. So there's the bottom right through 254. So now we can adjust our expectations maybe for Monday and use like a 255, 254 area for support right now. The only thing that we tried to short was into VWAP, and we had actually done okay. We had gone short, brought it back in. That was about $1, even if not more than that. Then we took a short again and got out at VWAP before it broke up higher. So I said that we would be down on Tesla. We are, but as you can see, it's a cup of coffee. We went short under VWAP here first. It broke. We got out. Then we went short, got money, gave money back. So, I feel like 50 cents. We've got money. But no, I wait for Tesla. There's 252 from yesterday. Thought if we could get into this range, we'd look at it. The only thing that remains the same about Tesla every day is it has like these dramatic moves, seems like with the market every morning, and then can find its base. The market has been so resilient. I know today the market's not up, but Tesla's up. But, the market's been really resilient over finding bottoms at certain points. Like yesterday, it felt like the market was completely crashing, and then we looked over, it was down like 0.3 or something. I know we started up 1.5%. So we actually fell almost 2% or whatever it was. But it still battles back, right? We're still at 20,300. So I'm still pretty confident that the Fed has our back here, and we can continue to buy dips. That's why on the TQQs, you can see that we're still long that one. So, all right, I like Tesla into those areas. I was not joking, by the way. Like, if something ever goes wrong with this robotaxi event, I'm telling you, I'm saying $50. Like, there's the move down here. Chart. If we can get it from 260 down here, I think it falls to 220.
Well, in
one fell swoop.
No, in the event, you think during the event it could drop $50?
No. If they canceled the event or something, that they weren't. No, not during the event. No. Once the event is on, I assume he's going to have something to say.
Because there was the moment where they had the break of the window on the Cybertruck. I'm
not talking about that.
Okay, because I think that would be like if it did something like that, that'd be worth like $10.
Yeah, I don't know if it definitely will be some downside momentum, but what could they do about these cars? They roll out there and ugly as sin or something like that. You know what I mean? What is that?
No, you got.
Oh, Sharif's there on screen.
There you go.
Oh,
hi, what up, Sharif?
Hi, Sharif. How are you, Sharif? It's like Elf on a shelf. It's like Sharif on a desk.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Sharif on a desk. Hey, you can instead of Elf on a shelf,
if you were breakdancing right now,
Snoop on a stoop. Have you heard of the Snoop on a stoop?
But I could try.
What? Those aren't the.
Imagine he breakdances right. That would be so sick.
Breakdancing. That could be our breakdancing stage. Yeah, but those things here says Ray Gun right here, something like that. Get some sponsorship going on there. Look at that. Okay. All right. So from Snoop on a stoop to Elf on a shelf to Sharif on a desk, let's go back over and talk about Donald J. Trump.
Yeah, this is an important headline, guys. So Donald Trump coming out very not that long ago and basically saying that if he's elected, he's going to prosecute Google to the maximum extent possible, alleging that they are displaying bad stories about him. I can just tell you my own personal experience using Gemini. Gemini refuses to summarize, not give me opinions, summarize any article that mentions Donald Trump's name, even if it's not related to him, like it's a crypto article. I did review a crypto article today that had to do with Kamala Harris and Waltz, and it was reviewing that. So a little bit something to keep in mind there, but that story just came in not that long ago. Separately, this was earlier, a Trump DJT shareholder offloaded about $7 million worth of the stock after the expiration date lockup there. So, but it's up on the day, guys. I see about almost 6.5%.
That's about $7 million that we just dropped down.
Yeah, but that's $100 million. You know what I'm saying? Because, well, first of all, I'm pretty sure that was the same guys that they sold everything, right? If it was the apprentice, in the middle of the day, I should have looked up the names of the two guys. Doesn't really matter. It was the two apprentice dudes. They sold 11 million and have 100 shares left of DJT. So you can't know what price they sold at, but the lockup expired on the 20th. So here, right? So we're like that's $15 to $11.80. So let's just call it 13, right? So that 7 million is 90. And if they sold all 11, you know, that's they're just chilling. They could be anywhere. Look, it could be 100 million. It could be 140, 150. They're in the pocket. That's some good change. I think what might be going on is simply, okay, well, if they sold and Trump didn't, then there's your relief rally squeeze, right? So a bit of a squeeze upside here for DJT. Oddly enough, hey, this stock is respecting VWAP a little bit here. There's VWAP, there's VWAP, there's VWAP. I think the problem would be the last bounce was the smallest bounce. Bouncing off VWAP and you just got the smallest one. I kind of felt like it was either we were going to get a push into $16 or I guess I would have, in the afternoon, I was kind of looking for a press into the high, 15.5 or $16 for a fade. But if you just lose VWAP in here, I could see this maybe trying to resume the standard course, which has generally been fade a little bit, but yeah, big breakout. Like the technical break at that 1440 level was pretty good for DJT. But yeah, I mean, Trump didn't sell any, but these guys, hey,
I got it.
100 million is 100 million,
I got the story right here. So it is shares of Trump Media here. Their corporation's called United Atlantic Ventures, and the two individuals are right here. Andrew Latinsky and Wes Moss. So Andrew Latinsky and Wes Moss dropping. They have 100 shares left, and it was what was it, 7 million?
See, I recognize this guy.
There it is. But anyways,
I remember.
That's the story. So DJT, Neil just went over it all. Look, man, I think as soon as you can sell this, you should probably sell it. Tesla's coming back in right now a little bit. The market's coming back in, sorry, not Tesla. Tesla's still remaining up high. Okay, here we go. I'm getting close to buying a little bit more of the TQQs here, but we just bounced pretty solidly off VWAP right now. So I'm a little bit nervous always about reloading things at certain levels. But I like 72. We'll take a little bit of a dip there. We'll buy more down here, but I want to give it to 71.50. I want to give this one some room. It's not that we've been down here before. It's just I don't know if there's a big tank coming at the end of the day today. I don't mind a flush. I think we're getting flushed right now. But are we really going to break the bottom dramatically? My bet is going to be no. So I do want to buy the dips, and we're buying more triple Qs and more NASDAQ at 20,200. We've done it once. It was a big win. We're going to do it again right now. So just in case that comes in. I'm bidding 72 flat right now. Shout out to Hey Davis. You made $4,000 on that Qs trade. So that was fantastic, man. Keep those profits rolling through. So we'll buy some more at this dip of 87. I'm going to probably go to 90 now, and then we'll wait for 60s or something like that to put on more. We're getting out at 71.50 break. That's a trade for the T triple Qs. Let's go see Micron.
Down 1.25, Sean. That's after rocketed up after earnings. Boy, were we bamboozled on the state of high bandwidth memory by analysts prior to Micron reporting. Also keep an eye on SK Hynix traded in Korea. Here's Baird giving them a bit of a backhanded upgrading, maintaining, I should say, the outperform rating, but dropping the price target about $22 from 172 to 150. As I mentioned, down 1 1/3, but still well off the lows, guys.
A topping tail candle alert on Micron after earnings in here. Now, you always want to let these things settle down a little bit, but you can't run away from what this looks like on the daily chart, and it's pretty obvious. You had a fail breakout through the 110. You're getting continuation here today, down 1 point. I mean, it's actually not. I mean, could you compare it to, some of the drops that we saw, like Nvidia down almost 3% and AMD down 1.7. Like, it's not as bad, but when you consider how strong it was, beat top bottom, the guide good, and then you're getting this turnaround, I don't necessarily like it. You usually let things calm down. I try to break out on this. Didn't go. Was strong going into this afternoon, but it retested these lows. You got 107 double bottom. So as long as, look, if you make a gap up on earnings and you never actually break that low, it doesn't matter how weak it gets. If it never breaks out this bottom, it's probably fine. But for now, you have a series of lower highs. Fail breakout early yesterday. Lower high 111. Same lower high today. Afternoon lower high again. At some point, we're going to run into this 107, and if we lose that, then you've got yourself a pretty big gap fill on Micron. So I think you allow this 107 to be respected in the short run, but we're trending right back into it on MU. And it's just, at the end of the day, it's not necessarily unhealthy that it pulls back. I still think the support breakout is intact. You're doing great from that 91, 92 area, but just thought you'd consolidate over 110. That just didn't happen.
Just real quick here. Thomas in the chat there was just like, watch out. Basically, he thinks this may be the time that we go down. And I just wanted to say, that, yes, maybe, Thomas, I am getting nervous. And I said, I'll take less shares now, but I still like the trade. I mean, if it still comes into the level. And then I was like, less shares. Remember, I can also scalp out. So it's just, we're on this platform. And, oh, yeah. And then Adam says, Sean, you're the best at scalping. I asked him if he landed yet. He says 4 p.m. So safe travels, Adam. As he's watching this, while traveling on his laptop, and he's sent us the pictures already. Hold on a minute. Did Sharif showed it? Didn't he on the chat on TV? Yeah. Oh, you did? Okay. I'm going to open it in a new tab. I will. Don't worry, Sharif. Here it is right here. So here is the plane, and there is Neil's handsome face. Oh, you're doing the learn to trade, it looks like there. You've got on,
I had the glasses
you've got on the glasses there. Let me see. Oh, is this Adam's P&L over here? Can I zoom in on that? I was just playing around. Just playing around. What was it? I don't want to dox him. Is that what they say?
That's what they say.
Oh, that's what they say. Okay. No, there was nothing there. But anyways, yeah, so I just want to go over that. That would be the play for me right now. If this trade ever becomes in danger and we see Apple falling. The thing about trading the Qs, when you're trading the futures, you can really look to see like what else is going on. If we get a headline in my ear right now that, God forbid, something happened in the Middle East or whatever, like something dramatic, something, election-wise or a new policy, like anything like that, then you can react a lot easier. We can simply hit Shift Escape, and that will cancel all of our orders, period. So
there's a better key. You know the one.
I have Shift O and Shift B. The bids
cancel all bids, cancel all offers.
Yeah. I'll talk to you about that after. Try it. I don't think it works in this version. Okay, but anyways, I'll keep that my opinion until I.
That's good to know. No, but that's good. To know.
No, but I meant to because I was trying to do it today and it wasn't working, and then I checked my keys. I thought, okay, it doesn't matter, but that is a good feature. Anyways, Micron, just real quickly here because we're on it, and then we'll talk about the SPY, which I was kind of just talking about. All right, Micron was a banger, man. We were like, oh yeah, baby, this is going to be a good day for us. Yeah, but not really though, Sharif. At the end of it all, so we went short there. It was $1 in the money. We knew we were fighting it. And then basically the only move up that happens all day here on Micron, it goes from 109.30, basically right when we bottom wicked at 109.19. Then the only move up, it goes up $2, like straight savage, all the way up $2, and then proceeds to fall completely all the way down. And of course, we get stopped out on our last little reload there. And so we wind up on the stock. But honestly, we throw our hands up in the air because I have no answer for Micron. We knew the short was going to be good. Well, we didn't know it was going to be good. It was good until it wasn't. So Micron, the day trader's dilemma, man. You have it right until you have it wrong. So, all right, let's go back over and talk about something called SPY.
Yeah, the spider looks flat right now, Sean. The NQ is down. As I mentioned, the Dow in green territory today, but leading them all is the Russell 2000. Last time I looked, it was up about 0.4%. We got PCE today coming in line. We also got Michigan consumer sentiment as well, which helped propel us earlier. But I got to tell you guys, getting lots of stuff right now on the wire with respect to the belligerencies in the Middle East. It looks like it's affecting these markets.
Belligerencies.
That's, you know what, I haven't stolen
Your
that
new
one
Prime
yet.
Minister, Sharif.
I'm going to work that one in next week, the belligerency. Although from what I've heard about what's going on for some of the boys on the floor, like it's a Friday, there might be some belligerency. Look, I'm an old man. I was just doing my exercises on the bridge, and I might have overheard that the boys have plans. When you're old, like, you don't necessarily get involved. There's Branko. He's got the thumbs up going on.
I'm telling Branko's wife.
I'm just saying.
What a handsome guy that Branko's is. You know, it's like you go to town with this guy in Obi. It's like don't even think
forget about it.
You know, just forget about
Obi, Mr. Steal Your Girl,
hang
right
up,
there.
Hang up
Straight
your cleats, man.
The spy. That's what we're talking about, right?
I don't know. Yeah.
Okay, so
I'm just here. I'm just here.
Yeah. Another topic. What are we supposed to do? No, we're gonna get to the spy.
He just said she'd like.
People
to come
wanted
on
the
host.
spy. We can do that as well. We can do the spy.
My bad.
All right. Topping tail candle. Again, we're just chilling out at the highs. What's important though to note is we only just went red on the S&P when the Nasdaq is down 0.5 point. So there has been some relative strength. I mean, energy's having a really good day today. I didn't really double check the financials. But it's not like across the board. I mean, it's not that bad. 0.5% on the NASDAQ isn't that big of a deal. But relatively speaking, the ES has been holding pretty well. It does look like we've got a pretty clean resistance at yesterday's close. Or like yesterday's close.
Uh-oh.
Oh, whoa, what just?
Uh-oh.
And then that just happened. So the spy just did this. The spy just did this.
I'm just like, well, unless the market just absolutely tanks out of nowhere, we'll be taking this long.
Okay, do I have this on?
Market just tanked out of nowhere.
Yeah, technical break of the lows just now.
Kablam.
All right.
All right, we're long.
Strong to buy.
Yeah, come over here, guys. I'm actually long this right now. So we just got long the TQQs. Again, I have this Benzinga Pro platform in my ear, and I don't hear anything right now, and I'm not seeing anything. So, nope. Some other random story just hit. Some UXIN story just hit. No, but okay. In all seriousness, I'll just review the Nasdaq. I know you guys want to talk about the spiders. Obviously, I think it's going to be very, very similar. Nasdaq obviously much more influenced by NVIDIA and the chip names, which are going to the downside today. So if you look here, here's Nasdaq down 6, right? And the ES only down 2.2, 0.6. So, 3 times the damage being done over there on the Nasdaq as opposed to the ES. But just real quick then, now that we're in this trade, might as well just have a quick look at it. There's the drop down in. We wrote down today that we like 72. 72 roughly, I thought anyways, wrong, coincides with 20,200. It actually, it's going to be a little bit lower. That's why I'm using 7150. So 7150 down there. We've talked about 20,200 is holding. It's held now a couple days. Let's just wait to see if it holds right now. We told you we'll start with a smaller amount of shares, so we've already done that on this move. I'm trying to buy that exact dip, which is like 60. So right now I'm sitting at 71.63. If it gets down there, oops.
That could be it.
China tells local companies to stay away from NVIDIA chips. So the Chinese government now, so they beg to get these chips over there. It's so unfair, blah, blah, blah. They don't have the chips. Now they're telling look at the spike. So this is what it is. So alert, alert, alert. Brendan's over there. When he has this story, he can jump in. But I think that's what it is. China now advising their local companies to avoid or discouraging regarding NVIDIA. Here it is right here. I have it on the Benzinga Pro. China urges local companies to avoid using NVIDIA chips. So we'll wait to see here what that does. But that was obviously the dip down in the market. So that is a game changer for me.
Yeah, that changes.
Yeah, so like when you're watching now this market, we'll still take this trade. But we are already in a light amount of shares. So now we understand what we're dealing with. This could be a complete change of force here, right? We just got all that China stimulus. And now you're going to hear a negative comment from that government, basically firing directly at the NASDAQ. That's not great. Like if they're not going to buy AMD or NVIDIA chips, what are they going to do? They're just not going to compete.
Their tech companies need them. So like what's
Taiwan Semi? Like who has anything even close to this? I think if anything, China then, I'm just looking at all the names here that continue to drop down. If China does this, they're basically pointing a gun at themselves.
Yeah, like Baba's dropped. Baba fell a little bit here.
I don't know. Oh, you know what this is? Oh, this is because the Chinese government wants to get long NVIDIA. Okay, that's what it is. So at some point, and the Chinese government will come in here at about 115, start buying up NVIDIA, and then say, jokes, we did not mean that. And then NVIDIA will come all the way back up to 125. Psych, gotcha. Right there. So, okay, let's just, all kidding aside, if NVIDIA does fall down, what are some buying levels that we might have now? I mean, this is a nice move. We just lost 1%. Remember, 1% is like $300 million, right? So that's a big move down. Let's just wait. Looks like 116, maybe we find a little bit of a hold spot there. So, all right, if this does come crashing in, let's 116 and change. Obviously, we're going to be on the futures here, being able to watch all of this. So here we go, move in. I'm still going to look to take some here. I'm going to take a little bit more now. I'm going to cancel all that we had at in the 60s and just take a little bit now. We're still going to give this one to 71.50. If it breaks that 20,200, which it's at right now, there it is. It's right now, 20,200. So we're right. So this is about the level that I think there's a chance to hold. And we are well positioned. We are well share sized up right now for this move. So although it's coming down, this is what we waited for. So let's see if it holds.
Yeah, I went over to something that, to me, like wasn't breaking the lows at that moment, which was Apple. But now it's really starting to. You would have thought, like, if this is the news, like maybe something like that would hold up. But no, it's about to give it up. That just fired out. So I'm now, this was holding the lows on that move. Like, okay, like this is a place to take a shot. But look at now we're actually moving back in. I'm going to go to PDDs to show you. Like, that was ramping up. There was a slight sell in there. I thought maybe you'd see some of the Chinese ADRs move down on that news, but instead, okay, Baba's going down a little bit, maybe not PDD. But yeah, a bit of a wipeout there. What's still holding on to view up? Tesla is. Down, right? It makes sense to me that some of the Chinese tech names might move down off of some of this. So I'm looking at Alibaba, although PDD just feels like a much bigger opportunity for reversion. Now, you know what?
That's twice that's happened to us on NVIDIA.
That's so crazy. It was out of nowhere on NVIDIA. Oh, by the way, NVIDIA in particular is trying to bounce here a little bit. So I don't wonder if they can come all the way back on NVIDIA. Maybe it's one of those rinse type moves. This price action and all of the fun that you just saw, like we were randomly talking about the SPY, and then you had that move down, brought to you by Trade the Pool. We'll do it now, everybody. And we have a great update from Trade the Pool. Now it's even easier to get funded. As you know, Trade the Pool built a unique program to evaluate stock traders like yourselves and provide you with the company's funds to trade with. Real shares, and you no longer have to worry about that PDT rule. But that's not all. I have some exciting news for you today. Trade the Pool has introduced a new tier with 20,000 in buying power, making it easier to pass the evaluation and speeding up the process of getting funded much faster. That's right, it is simple and it works. You don't want to miss this opportunity. Scan the QR code or click the link in the description for more information. Shout out to Trade the Pool. And we're like right back. Really?
Yeah, that's what I was just saying. Oh my God. So we're lucky enough to have bought some back in there. We didn't get out of the ball, and then we bought some more back. But it did break our 50 level, which is so stupid. And the thing is that you know where our stop was? Breaking through 45. And you know what the bottom was there? 39s. So it's like we got stopped out, and then 4 cents later, it ripped back up huge. So it's fine. We didn't get stopped out of it all, but we did wind up taking the L there. So if you were looking at 71.50, so that's the only one thing here that I've admitted this. We've talked about this. I think all of us do this all the time. And that is that trying to figure out the exact spot where you want to get stopped out, right? Maybe the indication could have been 72 to get stopped out, and then you don't really worry about, where we may or may not hold. But yeah, so we did get some out, and we're back in it. We'll make it back. But like anybody out there that was using 71.50, I mean, it broke there. It was the largest volume candle of the whole day. And I was just like, that's twice that's happened. Like yesterday, SMCI set this whole thing down, and it was only one stock specific. And then today, the same thing happens again. It's a one stock specific story with NVIDIA. But then obviously the follow through with that would be that it's semiconductors. And if China doesn't play nice with the US companies, that's not a good sign for anybody. So that, whether or not it be Apple, Starbucks, Nike, like those wins run through the whole thing, right? So you got to watch out for that. You never want a change of, you know what? I just saw someone like, what time is it in China right now? Is it 12 hours, right? So it's 2:30 in the morning.
Where in China?
The Chinese government is that the right time? Should we ask Gemini this? Who's watching right now in
it is currently
Shenzhen or whatever. 2:30 a.m. Right?
Yeah, 2:30 a.m.
Was that Bloomberg that reported this story? Like honestly, that doesn't. So the Chinese government at 2:30 in the morning announces that. I don't know. Again, we're just going by what we hear now. That seems to be a little interesting to me. Where is that story? Here it is, FXI. China urges local companies. Oh, it is Bloomberg. Okay, all right.
Bloomberg.
It's all good, it's all good. That story could be true. I'm not saying it's not true, obviously. It's reported by Bloomberg. I just, when you think about that math right there, I just kind of wonder about that.
I report all the most important information,
right?
Myself at 2:35.
Right. Like the Canadian regulators and government would probably wake up at 2 to 3 in the morning and decide to announce something that can dramatically affect the entire economy of the technology.
It's a bad pun, but hey, man, sometimes in the middle of the night you just want to dump, and they wanted to dump the market. So there you go. That's about the only thing people ain't doing. I mean, at 2:30. I mean, if you're the boys in the back gallivanting tonight, then I suppose then you'll be up to some things. But look, if the market's going to move off this, we have to sort of respect it. I do see Nvidia's resisting $120 here. When I get to, like, Neo pulled into VWAP during all of this, which this was a missed opportunity for me here in the middle of the day. So that was, obviously this is something I should have had to the long side, but I'm going to try and pick this one up off of VWAP. Ignore the fact, don't ignore that story, but just looking at all of the Chinese ADRs before that, I mean, BABA pulled back, but was still up 2%. We already showed PDD in the big move that Pinduoduo had today. So very, very strong group. And Neo doing fantastic, up 11% today. It finally broke that 630 that we were in love with breaking out. It got to 660. But I'm jumping on this bid at VWAP just for the the support. See if we can get a bit of a scalp trade going to the upside. It is the afternoon. It's a Friday. Chinese ADRs, what they do. But if it can just bounce here up to 660 again, I think that'll be fine. So I'm on the bid. I just got 42, which is, hey, that's my favorite number. So why not? We'll get some offers going into 50 and then 55. My out is the local bottom just underneath 640. So a bit of a bounce here off of VWAP, just a VWAP retracement play on NIO. But Nvidia it's still holding underneath that 120 level. So bounce, but not getting back above 120. I feel like if it holds 120, that was a pretty key level. Getting back above there, and I think that'll confirm this might not be a big deal.
We're just we're buying some more and selling some more here as we go. We are long right now, 71.50. We played that play back in to that level again. So let's take that. Hopefully you may be able to make a little bit of money on these markets lately. And if you have, then we've got the leading Vietnamese electric vehicle company for you. As you can see right there, VinFast, Vietnam's leading electric vehicle manufacturer, has announced its Q2 2024 financial results. Deliveries surged by over 44% quarter over quarter, with over 13,000 EVs delivered, bringing the first half total to 22,000 plus vehicles, a 101% increase year over year. Q2 revenue climbed to $357 million, up 33% quarter over quarter. VinFast's success in Vietnam is pivotal, driven by rising EV adoption. With global expansion and new models like the VF3, VinFast aims to deliver 80,000 vehicles in 2024, maintaining its commitment to sustainable mobility. Please go check out VinFast immediately. Pivotal. Yeah, if you say it fast.
Well, that's how I roll, man. Like if
doesn't sound right.
I always just say it way too fast, and then no one even knows what the heck he said, so it doesn't matter. Everyone understands what's up.
Have I ever tried?
You're wearing a name tag now.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just wanted to remind.
No, that's fine. Just okay.
Yeah, I mean, this is the back of a sticky note. There, it was just. I don't. People probably. It was more for Remy.
Hi, Sean.
It was more for Remy.
Oh yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, sometimes I'm getting up in age as well, so I might forget.
You can't even really see it on.
who I'm talking to. Maybe the names are also underneath on the screen, so I think that's pretty easy to understand.
Man, what are we even doing? Okay, so
Friday,
yeah, just again, we're having a good time here on a Friday, and we're just trading the markets away. We're going to be near our highest spot all day, and it's only because we are able to just get that reload right now. If we did not reload that right there, then we would not, we would have been still losing on that last position of ours, where we were, of course, long into that move and then got stopped out there. So we will play this a little backside. The only problem is 71.75 right now is having a problem. And so 71.75 is 20,200, it looks like, right here on the futures. So as the NASDAQ continues to bounce around and do its own thing here, it looks like we will continue to have a little bit of a problem trading off of 20,200. So that's a level here that we're going to have to start putting some offers out on the TQQs. Right into here is fine by me. If we're just going to dance around here, I'm going to actually punch out some 64s there. There we go. We got 64s and 67s. I'm waiting at 75 just at this top area. If we can get that, great. And then we'll let the rest ride because, just all kidding aside, like I just, if that story about I just see another story about Israel. If that story was true, which it might be, I just feel like why have we not heard more about this story right now? That's the first thing that comes to my mind.
Why is nobody else
Why
reporting
is NVIDIA not panicking a little bit more than this? So I don't know. We'll just wait. You're in the right spot, man. We've got Brendo. We've got the Benzinga here. We've got Twitter. We've got everything ready to go. Me and Neil will be checking everything as well. If anything does come across about this story, we'll drop it to you. But I'd rather go long the futures than NVIDIA right now, but I think they're hand in hand. So I'm long on this story. I feel like that might have given you a good opportunity. Look at the volume increase here when everyone's wondering what up with that. And then all of a sudden, boom, volume really dries up. Kind of looks like a nice little ascending, not triangle, but move down that side there. So volume drying up on a story that doesn't look like it's going to get much traction from here. So, all right, let's wait to see if it breaks. We are sitting here on the triple Qs. It's a nice, or T triple Qs. It's a nice win here. We're waiting at 75. I'm just going to take some here at 70, cancel this 75 and just take a bid. Take an offer right now. Go, go, go. One more. There it is. All right. So that's a nice little trade there. Let's see if we continue to go higher here on the NASDAQ as we make sort of back there what we lost on that first move. But isn't it funny that we were just saying that? Like,
it's so
what's
hilarious.
Going to derail this is another story that can come out of nowhere.
Yeah, well, we thought it would be
up at 2:30.
Thought it would be geopolitical, but you never really know what's going to happen. And to the point of it being geopolitical or China news, even Nike went down on that. Like you're going to break the low on like Nike on that story, but it's just more that if true, then it's more the old tit for tat, right? So anybody with that exposure, like Starbucks made a move into the downside. Right. So you have to be wary of anybody with exposure, I suppose, for now. But NVIDIA is leveling off. Rightfully pointed out, and shout out to a few people in the chat were just mentioning that Tesla made a bit of a bounce. Don't worry about Adam. Adam's like, my bad. We'll see tomorrow, man. And if Adam's visiting, one of our longtime viewers.
What's he saying?
No, he asked me where I would be at the game tomorrow. So he'd be at the Jays game. And I just told him, like, I'm always in section 133. I can just tell you right here, like, we always sit in the same spot. So hopefully we'll be able to link up at the game tomorrow.
That's what happens when you have season tickets. You always sit in the same spot.
Well, yes. But this is the first time that I will actually get down to our seats since the injury, because I feel like I'm good enough to climb.
Yeah,
I'll have the crutch with me, but I'm good enough to actually climb the stairs. And, there's only a couple of games left in the season anyways. They don't have much to play for.
Tonight is flannel shirt night, I saw, by the way. Oh, you already get all those anyway.
Yeah, we get all the...
That was cute.
What's really cool is that when the first 10,000 fans get whatever
15,000, but I have a beef with that.
They have you always have to line up for the good stuff. And what I realized is, we realized, my wife did, is that if you're a season ticket holder to the Blue Jays, then you can just pay the shipping, which is for all of the stuff they send you. It ends up being like $50 because it's like two boxes. You get all of the stuff that they do for the whole year. So I get all of the gear, never have to show up early for it. So I have like so much Blue Jay gear, it's like stupid, which is great because then cousins and nephews and nieces can all get it. So if you ever want free stuff, Blue Jay stuff, you probably want to come to me. Tesla is bouncing because...
I want free Blue Jay flannel shirt.
Well, the flat,
that's just tonight. I don't. Why? I guess it's because it's the fall. I guess
that makes sense to me. Like, I actually.
I mean, what you should be wearing.
But it's not going to be high quality. It's always like
wearing
low
your
quality
pineapple
stuff.
Blue Jay shirt today because it's the last time.
Well, I'm going to the game tomorrow.
I know, but on the show because the season's over, right? It's the last game is Sunday, isn't it?
Yeah. If I was thinking about it, I suppose I could
wear it on Monday, or you could wear
the pineapple one. I like
I'm
the
gonna look for a Buffalo Bills.
I actually wear the cricket one now a lot. Like that's my favorite one. They had like a cricket day or whatever, and they have a Blue Jays cricket shirt. So being West Indian, or my family's West Indian, I decided that that's my new favorite. I'll probably wear that one tomorrow. So if you see an old man limping around at the Toronto Blue Jay game tomorrow, it is in a cricket sort of jersey style. That is going to be me, and maybe I'll be hanging out with Adam DeLuz. Hopefully we'll get to link up there.
Did he say his
and they'll get a win
or no?
Maybe he messaged me where he is. I mean, I don't know if he wants me to tell everybody where he's going to be at the game, but
remember if it was 100 level?
Well, he's regardless. I'm not going to him either way. I'm I'm on crutches. He can come to me. Sorry, Adam.
You can go between levels, right?
Yeah, but they have elevators, but there's only elevators in certain spots.
I'm saying, if you're in the 500s?
Oh, yeah. Anybody can go to any concourse. They have all the really cool bars now that you can go to, like a real, actual stadium that has different food all across the stadium and good places to hang out and chill, which is what you need.
Good look.
I do like it. So the only thing I'm in is Neo. It's trying to just bounce off of VWAP here. Tesla, however, is pretty strong.
Let's go.
And it is going to the upside. Okay, you got my offers on Neo. But right back into 260. So I feel like this one's okay. NVIDIA's back above 120. So I think nothing burger confirmed. If NVIDIA's going to hold 120, this is probably not that big of a deal. Still, I'd rather go long stuff that might not be affected by that. I don't think Tesla's got the bad news here either. So Tesla's got a trend. Maybe we'll buy the dips on the trend for now, just in NIO.
Oh, baby. Right now. Let's go. What's up, Adam? What's up, everybody? Let's just keep on dropping it down, man. Honestly, man, good feels coming over here. Like that long on the TQs, man. Wow. We just let that go all the way back up to $72, up to the 50-period moving average. The minute we just worked through that story, the timing, who reported it, so on and so forth, it was just like, for me, worth the risk to get back into that long. Our stop was back into here. So again, this trade is 71.50. The stop is like the stop was, let's just say 10 handles. It's a 50 handle winner, if not more right now. We're long at 20,190. It's 40 handles right now in the money on the upside, and we risked 10 of it. A 4-to-1 futures trade right there. And again, it's just, remember what we said, we have the ability to scalp this out. So we got out of it, sort of dust that dirt off. Get that off my shoulder right there. And then we get right back into the long, and there it goes. Nice upside move now for the TQQs as we get some more out at the 50-period moving average. We only have a third left. Only a third left of this position right now. Brendo.
I was just reading through this article, guys. I thought I'd throw this at you as well. You have to go all the way to the end to find any sort of mention or quote or talk of who this is from. And then when you get down to about the third or fourth last paragraph here, all it says is, according to people familiar with China's AI policy. So there's no mention, as I said, of any sort of source or this is from the actual government. It's just, I think, Bloomberg writing Bloomberg type articles.
Bloomberg trader short NVIDIA. Maybe.
One day someone will make a documentary about all this. And
for sure they will.
They can just phone me up.
The algos are going to be, like, the problem is that the algos get chewed up on stuff like that because you can. It's a really good time to game them before they have a chance to adjust to stuff, things like that. Because, like, if you're not, like, how are you not reacting to a headline that hits a major news service? Like, you can't reasonably not do it. You got to stop making a market, or start hitting the other side, like doing whatever it is that they do to make sure that they preserve their capital so they can win literally every single day. So that's, to me, it is what it is, but that story seems a little bit bogus. Obviously, at this point, I mean, everything is now bouncing back to the upside.
Let's go.
So NVIDIA is right back above, just getting another order out, right back above the 120. Let's see how it reacts to 121, but I kind of feel like the 120 is going to end up being a support zone. I did want to go back to AMD because before this happened, I was thinking short in AMD. And it didn't, if it can bounce on this news, it's right on that bottom. It's got a nice little trend line since it failed just over 165. So there's kind of like your pivot area here. And then it made that same high. And then if you were to draw this, trend, like it's pretty loose. I could draw that better, but it's challenging the top end of the trend. If it reverses, great. But I want to be cautious here because when you have that kind of a reversal, it's tricky to short anything. But I was thinking short before that news. And if we fail right on the trend line, I'll just jump into the short on the way back to the downside. I think Tesla is where I want to go back to the long, though. Didn't drop as far, didn't get to VWAP. Maybe it breaks that 260. I'd rather buy some dips here in TSLA.
Yeah, Tesla. Okay, so we just got out some more there. I just wanted to let you guys know we're at the 50-period moving average right here with the futures. So, you know, if that winds up fading for us, fine. But at the end of the day, I'm going to try to take some more out here. So it's at the 50-period. I am waiting for a little bit more on the 200, so we just get out of another piece. So we have less and less now to trade here on the NASDAQ. So we'll wait to see if we can get a better fill upside, and where I am offering right now, 72.09. So just a little bit ahead of this 200-period moving average, and we'll work it out and around after that. So, all right, that's just one little area that I was working on there with the TQQs. All right, after that, let's look for some more trades, right? And so the name that we had earlier today, which was an absolute banger, which just keeps on going, and then after we got out of it, kept on going, was Google. So right here, you could be at another spot where you're looking to reload. I'm actually a little disappointed. Google at one point today was up over 2%. But the way the NASDAQ has been trading, you know, this is trying to break through the 50-period moving average. Go, man. This is a really good trade here on the futures. This is now like 60 handles or so in as we continue to climb a little bit here and watch out for that TQQ fill. Hopefully we can get it soon. But yeah, I just think if Google can break this level, I just wanted to go over this. If we can get above the 50, above VWAP, and above the 200, not only does it clear all of our sort of hurdles here, but it also breaks this little support area that already broke to the downside. So this is going to become resistance. Then if we can break above 164.40, 164.30, then, I mean, I like that trade. So if we can get it, let's just continue to look out for that. I think this is a good break long right here, 164.30. So it could be minutes away. It could not happen at all, but that would be a trade for me to look at. And there it goes right now, spin that one. As the TQs, man, the futures continue to go. We really, really are understanding this market a little bit better. We just got to make sure that we have the right stops. We talk about that and the right risk management profiles. And if we can do that, then we should be okay. TQ's going back up there to the upside. Let's watch out to see if Google can break. And let's head over to my partner over here.
Yes, sir. And if you feel lost in the noise of the market, then you need Benzinga Pro, because Benzinga Pro cuts through the clutter and gives you the insights you need to make smarter, faster trades. From real-time news that's real to unusual options activity, we'll show you exactly what's moving the market and why. Don't miss out on your chance to trade like a pro. Visit benzingapro.com/pro to start your free trial today.
Yes, sir.
And that's what it's all about. Well, the cool thing about it, and you would have heard me say along the lines of, why isn't anybody else reporting this? And that's, there was a thing, Associated Press years ago had their Twitter account hacked, right? And there was a story that came out and it moved the market. But like immediately for traders, it was like, why is there, it was too big of a deal, too big of a story that only one source could like every news service would have been reporting if it was true. So when I popped up the Benzinga Pro, like you would have heard me say, why is there only like one source? Why are there not like multiple lines for this? Like usually what will happen is, here, I'll show you guys like live. Like if it's really, really big, like I'd see like the same symbol or the same name like multiple times and multiple sources and multiple, you know, just everyone's going to be talking about it. So if it's a small deal, maybe only one, but I'll see like the same thing 2, 3, 4 times. And when you see it only by one source, when it's supposed to be a big deal, I get a little bit suspicious when it comes to that. That's why it's important to have like multiple tools at your disposal. Okay, I'm gonna go back over to AMD because Tesla is not really dipping at this moment. AMD, I could redraw the trend line, but it's kind of reversing off that trend. Not very strong right now here on advanced micro devices. So I just want to go back. Here you go. There's the trend that it's testing. Would like to see it close under. If it starts breaking it out, obviously it can continue to go to the upside, and I'm not going to fight it, but it's at the trend resistance level as we speak. If it does not break it, then I will look for the short underneath. Again, before this NVIDIA story happened, I was looking for the short in AMD regardless, pretty much on this line. So going to go back to it as long as it holds underneath.
All right. My kids are done from that Activate place. They loved it, so that was a good one.
That's always good. Got to stay active.
Right there, yeah.
All right, AMD's
came out
actually
for their
breaking out.
drinks. So no, they just come in. My son came running over to say thank you. Okay, that's great. All right, so I just want to say something. We might have made a mistake there. I don't know. We'll play it by ear here, though. When I was thinking about, this story and that we're in the futures and that it's Friday and that it's entering power hour and all of that stuff, do I still want to be long? Yes, of course I still want to be long. But should we lighten up a little bit here? Yes. So I actually canceled the order that I had waiting here at 72.10. Like I said, we already bought down here. We literally have this 20,180, and it's now 50, 60 handles up right now. So that's a good move. We made the bottom back up to the 50-period moving average. Normally, when we're looking at this kind of a play, these are the things that we try to do, play off some of these lines. Like if we're going to go short, we wait to go short 50 periods, VWAP, stuff like that. And then now if we're going to play the long, and it's especially a counter trade, right? This market's down 1.5% right now. Of course, this is triple, so down 0.5%. You get a retracement back to the 200 period. You got to take it, right? I mean, look at this. There's the 200 period drop. There's the 200 period take. Stop at VWAP, which thankfully we were waiting for. So that was good. We only had a small amount of shares. That's why. And we did not get that reload, which was a shocker. Then all of a sudden comes back in. We lose it on that nasty story there. So I was mad about that, but obviously we were able to make back much more than we lost right there as it comes right back in. So now we'll just wait on it, see if it wants to continue its move. But there's the 200 period. Let's just not get a piece out there then, and then hold the rest for up here. So that way it'll look, we won't feel as bad about getting nervous here because we're able to hold something else. So we have about 15 or 20% left. And it's just funny that I answered already to that question about, am I going up or down on this stock? And I was like, don't worry, I'll scalp this thing. And that's pretty much exactly what we did. So came back up. We put on a good position there. Was able to get it out for basically flat, making this back. And now we trade with house money, and there it goes right now. The Diamond Hand Man is hopefully going to be able to hold this. We'll see. There it is. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We are long right now, baby. This is what we're talking about. So let's go. We said 72.40. I'm just trading off the charts right now. We don't normally do this. All right, 72.40. If we can get a fill up into this area, let's take that. That's what we're doing right now. There goes the TQs, man. Good talk there. I hope that was fun. And that's it. Thank you so much for the talk there, RJ McFly, right there. But you got to get into that DeLorean and make sure that you travel safely, wear your seatbelt and everything like that, McFly. And we'll see you on the other side. Watch out for that lightning strike.
Well, man, or you need the lightning strike. Like that's
to get back, yeah, if you want to.
Well, it plays both ways, because in the other movie, the lightning strike was bad, and in the first one, the lightning strike was pretty much the only way you're able to get back. Can't believe Tesla's right back at that 260. We're right back battling with it. I would love to be able to get it on the trend line, but the last time it was at this price was a big consolidation level here at 259.5. So, and then yesterday, like this is not like, I should have pulled this out the last time. Like yesterday, this is like that ARM 150 level. Like 259.5 is exactly where this thing failed. One of the reasons I like this breakout so much above the 260 level is what you have above it. Like it was a gap from 62.5 down to 60, and then a bit of a consolidation 50 cents lower, then it just dropped. So these big decision levels where it runs huge in either direction, those are the ones I like. So I like it topside up here. And if we're able to get it down into VWAP, certainly I would have been there at VWAP if it could have done it. By the way, Intel's also about to maybe break out that 24 level, which has been my over-under area on Intel. Sort of like longs here, like 24.20, shorts just underneath 24.10. So it's getting to that top where the short level's been for me on Intel. AMD, and the reason why I had that trend line in there was if it fails that trend, short. If it breaks it out, do not go short. Simple. Oddly enough, it might end up being a bit of a long here because, hey, trend reversals into VWAP are not bad in the afternoon.
No, that's basically what we're trying to do right now, is play this back into VWAP up there. Okay, let's just have a quick look. So DraftKings, I don't know what it's at now. It dropped through, okay, boo. It dropped through 40 and we got out right there once it did that. Look where it is now, kind of just hovering around right now. DraftKings again, good level. I still like $40 on that one, but DraftKings does come through. Let's check out Alibaba. I mean, again, we talked about some of the Chinese names there going through. Yeah, all right. So, I mean, I guess they got hit a little bit on that news, but it's just a 107. Oh, I sold 40-something% of my win trade. Well, it would have been, I guess, less than this during lunchtime. So in and around here, I came back and sold it. So probably in roughly right around here. I can find the exact price for you. But I did sell some of this trade. I looked and I was in the money like 16% or something like that. It's been a huge move up. Like I've made back, it looks like we must have been long 86, 87. So it's a nice move up there into 98. We've been holding this in and out of it for a while. So it's just, we want to take a little bit of an advantage of this. We talked about that huge move up for Las Vegas Sands, the whole sector, or the sector as a whole, with the recent Chinese stimulus. And I just thought that, hey, this is a nice bump up. If we can raise some capital right here, let's do that show over. Then we will be able to put our money to work somewhere else. And we did that, and I bought Berkshire. So I actually got out of some win there today and went over into some Berkshire. I was just like, you know what, we'll collect, go into a different space there. I'm a lot of tech, which will obviously flow back and forth. Berkshire there with earnings coming in the space as far as banks are concerned and everything like that. Want to have some exposure to that. So we'll sit here in some Berkshire.
Yeah, I like Berkshire. I haven't bought them in a very
I've never
long
owned
time.
them, so this is the first.
I own like a bit.
Do I get to go to get
like
some
a few
free Dairy
years
Queen and
ago.
stuff like that? What was that? They have some.
I love Dairy
Don't
Queen.
they have
by the
a
way.
free Coca-Cola or something like that?
Dairy Queen is underrated.
I told the kids I'd take them to Dairy Queen today. So we have never. I thought Dairy Queen actually.
Whoa, did you say never been to Dairy Queen?
No. We haven't been in a long time.
Okay.
I thought Dairy Queen closed in the winter, but they don't. I thought some of the little.
Look, man, you could have ice cream.
Right, and that's the thing. They have their whole. No, not just that. They have burgers now. It's called
hot dog. Their hot dog game's pretty strong. I was just all about the now I'm blanking on what they call it.
I mean, telling me she likes
the Blizzard.
Yeah, the Blizzard. Yeah, you turn upside down. Yeah,
turn it upside down. Make sure.
Ramin
it
likes
sticks.
the onion rings.
That's what it's all about. The only thing she likes is onion rings.
Yeah, right.
We'd like Nvidia to hold on to 120,
like
or
the
we're gonna have
Blizzard?
problems. Everybody likes the Blizzard.
You don't like ice cream?
It's like the best thing there.
Soft ice cream?
Everybody likes the Blizzard.
You don't have to have Oreo. You can get any flavor of Blizzard.
So
Okay.
the Oreo's too sweet. The Oreo is the least sweet of the.
So you could
the
not
Blizzard
like. So
flavors.
I think the thing is like obviously I prefer gelato and all that, but thing is like ice cream soft serve is different than like normal ice cream. So that would be like Dairy Queen's would be like a soft serve like a McDonald's is as well with their McFlurry.
This is making me hungry.
All right. Yeah, they also do full meals. Yeah, good.
What was I?
Cookie dough Blizzard. My wife and now my kids love cheesequake, strawberry cheesequake. It's like a cheesecake one. This is a Blizzard. It's like I guess it's environmental.
You had me at cheesecake.
Like a quake, and they put in.
Ramin's on us.
They put in little crumbles of shortcake and stuff like that. It's a pretty hot one for our
we gonna
family
hold?
right there. Yeah, it's not ice cream, it's soft serve. Yeah, that's exactly, that's what I was saying. Hey, Davis. What's up, Hey, Davis?
I love
Hey, Davis made over $4,000, he said, on some of these TQQ plays. So congratulations to Hey, Davis there in the chat. So, Ramin, you tell me when it is time. No, it's not. I know because I closed it, actually, so we got to wait a second here for when it's coming up.
Give it a hot minute.
Right, give it a hot minute. Okay, it would be the Firefly one. Is that correct? That is correct. Firefly Neuroscience is revolutionizing brain health by making its FDA-cleared brain networks analytics technology available to medical professionals in support of providing better outcome for patients with brain health disorders and illnesses alike. Depression, dementia, anxiety, concussion, and ADHD. The company's proprietary technology is built on extensive research and the world's largest standardized database of over 17,000 patients across 12 disorders, including clinically normal people. Join us at Firefly Neuroscience, traded on the NASDAQ under symbol AIFF, and be a part of the transformation to improving the lives of people suffering from brain health illnesses and disorders. Firefly Neuroscience, igniting hope for patience. So thank you to Firefly. And again, a very important thing. So come go
Absolutely.
and check out Firefly. Dada.
Data.
I'm gonna say it's up 13% right now.
AMD's going off the trend. Oh, wait a minute. What is going on with this
TQs is going
chart?
up.
Okay.
Oh, there's your Dada chart?
Yeah, my data chart. It's not really, this is not moving at all. It's up 13% and doing not a heck of a lot is data. So, 13% is 13%. Look at the move the last couple of days. So shout out to anyone. Hope Richley is liking some dada. But again, it's not necessarily like it's a great gain. I hope you're in it to the long side, and that's why you brought it up, because there's nothing wrong with that chart. It's just for the day trade. Yeah, volume tapering off. It's kind of chilling out. There was a nice move just there where you could have had like 8 cents or so, but yeah, I don't really see a ton happening. Just a good overall trend in data. One of our favorites, because Brendan, it's like probably Brendan's favorite stock in the entire world, which is why we have the graphic for it. So, shout out to you.
Very strange thing that Brendan has.
Well, it's, and everyone has to have their own thing. Like for a hot minute, I was obsessed with, what was the cannabis stock that I like so much?
Sundial.
That was my favorite stock ever. Jokings aside, I actually thought it was
good shit.
I thought it was terrible because it was like the most diluted marijuana name out there. So like they were all bad when they were tanking, but Sundial was just always demonstrably worse. So it was fun to trade. So Nvidia, okay, well I'm talking about AMD, but it starts with Nvidia. So let me just show you here. Nvidia, zoom in, it just bounced off 120. So that's step one. Step two is that trend line that didn't break down on AMD. Well, so we use it the other direction. Like it bounces off the trend line to the upside. So that's here at 60s. It's trying to break through the even dollar at 65. Resistance at this pivot point here. It's not like a pivot point, the technical, but it's kind of where it went from like there's a support to, hey, it turned into a resistance at 165.5. That's the target zone, 165.5 for this trend move back to the upside. So long AMD, that's headed back up. We want this market to go up. Neo is kind of just like a scalp trade. But now it's going sideways off of VWAP because it's the afternoon and China's ADRs don't move that much. I just heard Donald Trump in my ear, and then
he's having some sort of a rally.
Just in case.
Yeah.
I like have a reflex action now. If I even hear Donald Trump in my ear from Benzinga, I'm just going to flip to DJT on the off chance there's a trade. Because if I see it go, I want to be able to hit it. So, you got to be ready for it. But yeah, nothing happening there. David Codd saying BlackBerry. Yeah, good one. Now, is it?
It was moving today. Remember, there was earnings. I don't know if they're any good or not, but.
No, they're down 2% today. That was a good short off the open. I don't know why you would have had it, but it was a really good short off the open. Just a clean break of the lows. And now it's just climbing back to the upside for reasons unknown. It's not completely dead yet.
All right. Yeah, so BlackBerry, again, another name that's had earnings, and so we'll have to wait to see if it's going to go anywhere. And we talked about it this morning when there was some sort of a story as it was going upside, and we made some fun of Facebook Marketplace and stuff like that. All right, 72.30 right here. It's too bad that we got missed. We were at 36. I mean, the order's still pending, so we just missed that wick somehow. Goes right up to us and stops. So we'll have to wait to see what's going on right there for the TQQs. So we'll wait on that one. Google Micron could be the next one coming through. Maybe not, actually. Oopsies. You just want to see what Bitcoin was doing today.
Holding.
Wait a minute. I just want to see here, because Google, this was a level that, yes. So I actually like this break level right here. So it didn't break yet. 164. I'm going to go long on this break right now. If it goes up, we'll try this a little bit. 164, like 31 was the top. Let's go 164.32. We'll buy a couple shares here and see if it does want to work. So we like this play. We talked about this play down here, and we're like, once we can clear up, then we can see if we can get a sort of a path here. So let's just try that right now on Google. If we break through 31s, then that was the high. That was that little wick high right there. This might sound silly, like why not just punch long now? Yeah, we could probably just do that. But let's just wait to make sure that it does break that high. The market's coming back down. We don't necessarily want to be caught here punching the top if the market wants to retrace. But if it wants to go up, it can go up, and we'll be there for it. So we'll take that trade long on Google if and when it breaks. Futures, right? See, like I click over. Come on, futures. Get going right there. So let's just put a stop now, get out of half of our position. I can cancel our stop on this. That is now was breaking 39s. So we just talked about that. How about this one? 71. What is the 50 period? 71.98. Okay, so 71.97. Let's just be specific with it. Let's get out of not 50% of any shares we have. Okay, let's get out of half of what we have left right there if that does fade out. So we'll do that. And we are in a new position right now because we're... Hello, wake up.
Louder than normal.
We got that Java in your system, baby. All right, so we'll see what happens now. As Google, we're back into the long. We always look to take dimes out. Where are we going to drop this, man? 164. If it comes back out to 164, I don't even really want to average into this position. Let's see if it wants to go here a little bit. We'll average some out, hopefully at a 1-to-1 spot or so. But let's just see what happens with Google. We'll take a piece out as we always do, scalp some to the top side, and then wait to see if we get a movement here into the close. So Google, we're long. Let's have a look.
And right back to 260 is Tesla. Round trip. It's going to try and take out the high one more time. This time, I'm going to go for a false break. So false break into the dip. So if it tries to take out the high, because last time we had it, it got to the quarters twice and then turned around. So I want to see it get up there, try to break that high at the quarters, pull it, do a little bit of a pullback, and then we'll try to buy the dip. And if people have gotten out of a breakout trade, just catch like a higher low trend. AMD, we're still in the AMD off that trend line. It just kind of reloaded the same level here at 164.60. I got 65 again, and we're going to look to play into 165. We break out 165. I think we get 165 half. So the plan of action on Tesla. Okay, so there's the break over 60. Does not break the high of the day. Now it goes into the dip. So it's kind of like the false breakout over the even dollar and then play into the dip. If it can hold prior level or higher low, I'm going to look for the curl back in. Just want to try this one. It's been a very strong stock. Although I look up and it's like, why am I not just short Intel at 24? Like seriously, like look at this level on my black chart of Intel. Like it's just telling you right here, Neil, right here. Once, twice, OB thrice there on Intel. Relatively weak name, but I'm eyeballing this Tesla because it's been strong the entire day. I just feel like it wants to take out this 260 for good. I want to give it a chance to pull back here. Glad I didn't take the breakout because the breakout was no good. The dip buy, you want to find the dip buy, it looks like.
All right. So we're just in those places. If there's anything you guys want us to look at, man, let us know, and we will definitely do that right now.
NVIDIA.
Bitcoin. What the heck? All right, so let's have a quick look at Bitcoin. So here is Bitcoin right now on the broader exchange. I think this is markets.com. All right, so it does break. So it did break pretty good, actually, Fabian. So it gets to 66.4 right there, takes it out. But for everybody that's long Bitcoin right now, you got to be happy with this. Look at this. Bounce, bounce, bounce. So, yeah, man, I mean, it just keeps on bouncing off the 200-minute moving out, 200 period moving average here. So this is a 5-minute chart. So take that for what it's worth. 200 period on 5 minutes, obviously 1,000 right there. So we'll have to wait to see 1,000 data points giving you this average, which it keeps on bouncing. Right now, 65.5 is what we're looking for. Maybe if you're long this name, that would be a spot that you would consider potentially getting out if we break below that, 65.5. So great movement there for Bitcoin, Fabian. But it did break 66 and now is in its pullback phase. So we'll have to wait to see if it does hold back inside. So that's that. IBIT looks to be very, very similar. Here's a 20-minute chart. It looks like it, it's not the 200 period on a 20-minute chart, but you can see well held down there. But if you're using that, you got to wait for 36.40. If you're using the 50 period moving average, that's the one that I like right now on a shorter time frame. 37.30s. So we're getting close right now. Not a bad spot to go long here if it's something that you're interested in. So I kind of think that's not a horrible play right now to think about a long in IBIT using 37.30 as your bottom.
Yeah, there's good symbols in there being put in. One of them being in the chat, which, by the way, if you want to ask us questions, when we're asking, hey, what are you guys looking at? What are you trading? Make sure you hit that like and the subscribe, more importantly. You hit that subscribe. It's a subs-only chat, so you want to ask us questions. If you want to engage with the community, hit that like, hit that subscribe, jump in. The water is warm, I promise.
Proud of you guys.
Usually. And Amazon here was a name just brought up. This is breaking back out. The reason the market's bouncing here, obviously there was that reverse on NVIDIA after the alleged story. Whatever, it is what it is, by Bloomberg about China discouraging local firms from using NVIDIA chips. NVIDIA came down. It's back to almost where it was, But this next leg up was kind of other names bringing us back up here. One of them was Amazon, which was at the low of the day. So this is higher than was before. We're about to head into VWAP. This looks like it's breaking out in a decent way here. Probably resistance at the 188 and a half zone where it fell off right about midday, it looks like. So I'm just in AMD, and Neo's not really doing much. And Intel up's at 24, but still the same level, but you're not bouncing the same way that you were the last time on AMD. It went to the half, to the even dollar. This time it's going up into like the 75 level, 75.80, and not going any further. Sean O'Sullivan, thank you for the super chat. Plug Power is strong today. I did not know that, but if Plug is strong, it's worth a look. If you're going to send a super chat in there, let's see what's happening with Plug Power, which is now a $2 stock. 8% to the upside. Ooh, this could be a breakout, but not there yet. 235, and then even then, probably a bigger level at 260 on Plug Power. What's the short float here on Plug? Because it used to be pretty juicy. Oh, it's still juicy. 31% short float on Plug Power. When you want these things breaking out tops. It's done 55 million in volume. There's nothing wrong with the volume, but it's now kind of in a barcode action off the highs. Like all the goodness happened here at about $2.10. That was your move. Unless you're long off of that, holding on to it, I don't really see a heck of a lot that we can do with Plug Power today. But if it breaks out that 35, that looks pretty solid on the daily chart. Thanks for the super chat, Sean.
All right, thank you, Mr. O'Sullivan. We did get some more out, or got some out for the first time here on Google as it comes into 42s there. We'll take a piece out. I put another piece there. Well, let's see if it wants to go. I mean, I hope the futures can go. We actually got another piece out on the futures as well. Bang, bang, and then bang right now. So there it is. We get a piece out right there at 72.17s. Get a piece out at the 200 period. And now we don't worry about it as we wait to see if this market wants to blow up right now. I think it will. Get at least back to VWAP. That's not blowing up. But if we can get a couple more handles on this play, we'll like it. So we'll wait for that one. And then there goes Google right now. Again, we like this trade. We could have got a little more aggressive when it broke the 50 period. But the thing is that it ran right into VWAP and then came back to the 50. That could have been the reload there. So I just want to show that to everybody. Once you get up there and fail and come back and retest, you could almost go long once you think there's a bottom against this. So it's possible that the much better position is right here. But obviously, when you look at it, it looks much better. But for right now, we'll take it and spin some, oopsies, we'll spin some more money out right now as it's going back up there to the upside. And here we go, man. We're just adding, we're adding, baby. What's up, Sundar Ayal? There it is, man. 163 bottom for Google. We made them sing early on this stock. See if we can make it sing late right now. Nice move there. We took about $1.50. Then it just started to blow up to the upside. And now we wait to see what that next move is for Google. And here it comes, man, 164.70, let's go. My next offer, of course, is at 50. We'll always take something out at 50. And then if we can get that 70 area, we'll do that as well. So I have an offer right now at 50, then an offer at 64. On that. Our TQ position is going. We did take another piece out there. So now I was going to look at this kind of top wick. Remember we had a 36 there. We kind of put our tail between our legs and take it out at the 200 period, which is still 80 handles. So we're or whatever it was. Well, I can do the math again. That's 2180 up to there. Yeah, 70 handles. So if it can come up to here, we'll wait and then wait to see if we can get VWAP. So my target right now, although we have only 10% left, our target is 72.50-ish right up here where VWAP is, and we'll see if that wants to go. And then, you know, the big trade for me will just be this now. We have many more shares in Google than we do have on the NASDAQ right now. So if Google wants to work its way up into this area, then let's just do that. Let's start topping it out here and pay for some blizzards, I guess.
Gotta get them blizzards, man. They're not cheap. Everything, inflation is
like
a you know what.
$6 or $7.
It is. Guess what I was
I
gonna
even
say.
download the app to try to.
I was gonna say, like, trust me, like those.
Value there.
You'd be surprised where those prices have gone on lots of things. I was just telling Sean, McDonald's has their Monopoly game back, and basically what they've done is all the items that you normally get, that they're like the high frequency, they don't have the stickers on them. So when my daughter loves to play the Monopoly, I'll just get a Big Mac, and now it's not on there. I gotta get a chicken Big Mac so that she can play the silly game. Tesla doesn't want this 60 level.
Illegal.
So I'm staring it down. You look at what's happening at 60. It will not break the high. it will not pull back for a dip buy. It's just been battling. For the last 10 minutes, it's been sitting here between 259.85 and 260.18 and just not doing anything. No break of the high, no dip to be able to play into. So I'm packing the old patience is another line from Shriek, but it's like 320. Like, do something, Tesla. You're up 2 points. You've been strong all day. Felt like this was going to be the one, and now it's just going sideways. So we'll try to, again, like I'll just try to be patient. Like if we're going to get a dip buy, it's going to have to move down. If it's going to break out the top, it's got to move 25 cents to go. Like I said, it's a strong stock today, but it's not giving us any juice. The only new thing we got was just Intel. This level here has been a short, and I was mad at myself for not getting back in when I got out of this one the first time. Got the short, and then was like, oh, I was getting up, I need to go do something, and threw a stop order to protect myself, came back, and was like, you kidding me? And now we have a chance to rectify that by getting in at the same level. Just underneath this 24 level here on INTC. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. Afternoon trades are always tricky things. I like a VWAP retracement setup here on NEO in a general sense because it's an upward trending stock. But look at it. Bounced off 42, printed me at 46, and is just chilling at 45. So this might not do anything the rest of this afternoon because it's 3:20 on a Friday, and Chinese ADRs aren't going. There might have been that one shot when that story, air quotes, came out. Like I think you had a trade for a hot minute in Alibaba, and it's even that started to dry up. Like there was a little bit of a dip there when that story came out in BABA, and now it's right back to leveling off here at VWAP. So Intel's a new position. Tesla's still not doing anything off this 260, but this is a big level and it's a big stock, so I'm going to give it a chance to try and run this top, or give me the dip buy back at 59.
All right, heading into the weekend, we sort of got to think about like, okay, we have the election now is 30-something days away there, coming November 5th. We have Costco earnings we just had, so if you're going to look for...
I haven't even looked at that today.
Yeah, I know. I was going to say, if you're going to look for some plays, maybe some names that might be moving around here. Costco down that 1.25% or 1.5% right now. Did get dipped down into 8.75 off the open. So again, earnings, it hasn't had as much volume since it had right there off the open. But yeah, Costco looking like a nice little dip buy opportunity there to 8.75. We can look at that maybe on Monday. And the reason why I'm talking like this is, I mean, there's only now 28 minutes until the imbalances come out. And because it's a Friday, it's not that I'm expecting more imbalances or less imbalances because of the date. But if I were to say something,
like sour food.
It would probably be less imbalances just because the market is kind of just hanging out right now. We had the big rebalance last week. Feel like there could have been a lot of business being conducted then. And we'll just wait. But these numbers aren't bad, but they're just all sells here to start with, right? So these are all early looks. So potentially the market could get a little exhausted here into the close if any of this means anything. And I don't necessarily think they do. I mean, I don't even know any of these symbols here. So, Merck, your first one is Merck. Well, I mean, GM we know, but Merck. No, I just mean any of these top ones here.
And
then if you're going to say GM right there to lead it to the downside. So that's minus 890. We can have a look. That's not doing anything as if it wasn't minus 890. I
SES is an AI stock. Boom.
All right, so that's 73 cents.
It's a penny
maybe
stock.
I should have looked at that.
SES AI Corporation.
Yeah, so I don't know. I'm not, if on here we had like Palantir or like other names that maybe were Dell or, of course, we're not going to be able to have NASDAQ names, which is why I'm choosing these names, Oracle or something like that, some bigger names that may or may not react with the NASDAQ coming out at 350, then that would be a completely different story altogether. But for me, for right now, I think it's just a wait and see. Google is dropping back down here, so we were only able to get out of a little bit. We actually got out of, checks notes, about 60%, 55% or so of this trade up there. Now it's coming back into the 200 period. Let's just change it. Let's get out at 64.10. If it breaks, we were going to give it to 64 even, but now the 50 period is right there. Often we ignore that, and then I look back and think, like, why didn't we just get out where we said we would? So 164.09 break, and we'll get out of. We're just putting the order in right now. And hit enter and get out of 100% of that trade if you want to show it, Fabian. Yeah, so I was going to play that loop right there. If we come back in and test this, then let's drop it. So that's what we're doing, dropping it, hopefully like it's hot, and be able to get out of this name. So that's what we're doing right now, waiting as much as we can for a trade, and I think it will be either we get out of that and it'll basically be flat, but it will be a loss actually, because the best we were able to get was 12, 13, 14 cents. And if we get out on a break at 10, then we will lose about 22 cents. So not great here on this trade, but what are we supposed to do? We'll just wait for it and see if it eventually comes through. Could be a reload at VWAP, but into a slow afternoon.
Wow.
Sometimes.
Tesla is still at exactly $260. Like 20-cent range in Tesla battling this 260. It's an option. It's a Friday options expiry. The 260 has a lot of open interest, which was actually pointed out by someone in the chat. So maybe it doesn't want to break away from this price. Z or Zed in the chat, because we're Canadian, we're supposed to. Can we take a look at Intel order flows? Sure. But I also wanted to read out super chat there from David. Thank you for the super chat, David.
David.
Someone mentioned Air Show in San Diego.
They did.
Cool. I enjoy watching air shows. Yeah. They're always fun. Fun to watch from The Office in UTC. Meta going down by close. Zuck's new super yacht just pulled into San Diego. Maybe he will let me take it for a booze cruise.
I'm going to say maybe not.
You know what? Well, I've always told my daughter, I go, at the end of the day, when you want something, you have to have the courage to ask for it, right? Because people don't just give you things in life. So, even if you think I'm going to say no, or my wife is going to say no, mommy's going to say no, you still ask. And Zuck will probably say no. But hey, if you're brave enough to do so, good luck to you. As far as the order flow on Intel goes, however, I mean, this is level 2. See, this is how you know it's a Friday. Look as it goes through the levels. It's going through levels. On the way down, it was all D prints. On the way back up through 85, it was actually a bunch of ARCAs. So whoever was using ARCA, that means they were basically a real gateway that you actually see here. When it came back up through 85, it was actually printing real. But a lot of D prints going off there. Again, there's a lot of ARCAs going off on Intel. That's good to know. But Intel just kind of sellers in front of 24. It just started to break down. I mean, the market just started to come down a little bit. So that's starting to come back in. I'm bidding 80s and then down in the mid 70s. Neo still doing absolutely nothing. But Meta is going to go down according to David. And this is Meta. So what time did you send this? A couple of minutes ago. And Meta just went down $1.
Yeah,
so there you go. But it's only 3:26. There is still some time. And as you can all see here, right, this spoiler alert, Meta's going down into a support level from earlier. It's respected this range the entirety of the afternoon, 569.5 to 567. So, I wouldn't be surprised if it caught some kind of a bid here at that price. I'm just going to work to the low of the day here on Intel. Oh, but about Intel, the good news for Intel, this is going to be its second consecutive close above the 50-period moving average. Now, that doesn't sound like a lot, but obviously it hasn't happened since their earnings disaster. So we talk about things in a trend reversal, and this is in a trend reversal. I know we're short now because it's red today and pulling back, but hey, it has been a strong stock for the last week and a half. Yep. That's not, well, actually, no, 2 weeks. Because that's at least 10 days in there, right? 5 trading days in a week. So for the last 2 weeks, Intel's been a strong stock. Looky.
Yeah, well, they had some catalysts there. So a good little look.
Also fell like a bajillion percent. So
yeah, it has room to go. Right now, okay, so Google does drop out. We get out of some, we buy some more back. I mean, it's the same kind of story right now. This is the problem with trading right now, honestly. It's like it's not even getting wicked out. Wicked out is not the right word. It's the right word is getting stopped out, but at the end of the day, it's like it's just running these levels. I don't feel silly about anything here or anything like that, but it's just like, why are we trying to put on some risk here if we don't really need to? I mean, I know we're doing a show and we're trying to give you guys some trade ideas, and I did like it, and we did get some out there. It did come back in, but look what happens. It comes right to the 50 period. I use that as an out spot, and then instead of it being an out, it's like a reload back upside. I'm just finding it right now very, it's not that it's just right now, but finding it difficult to associate risk at this time of day when, you're just sort of looking for things to do. This is not like an ultimate setup or anything like that, but I do like it. I still think it's a long, but just playing these ranges, I'm tightening up the stops. Not even tightening up the stops. I'm more loosening the shares. I don't want to be giving back what we've already made today. I don't want to be, looking back and saying, why did we overtrade during this time? Someone this morning said, looks like Sean's overtrading. I had 2 positions. It's just like, I'm very comfortable holding multiple positions, but they have to line up, man. We can't just be sitting here hoping for something to happen. Things have to happen and they have to line up. And if they do, then we'll be here to trade them, believe that. But for right now, it's not really lining up too great. So I'm just going to wait to see if and when something hits. We'll hold on to the rest of these. Maybe we get a push now. Let's play back and forth, man. Neil used that over-under game as his lesson of the day. Why don't we just do that? Let's just get to the 200 period, ride or die. That's only a couple pennies higher, and we can make 20 cents on it and not worry about it. So let's go 164, 27, and we'll get out of half of what we have left. That's unusual for me. Normally we'll ride a little more on this, but we'll wait to see if we can get some action here at this level. So that's what I'm going to do right now, is wait to see if we get a push up into 164.27s. I just put it in there, and get out of half and just call it a day, and then see if the next half will work for us, because this half isn't.
And now Tesla decides to go. It was basically lulling you to sleep. And now at 3:30, it decides to make its little bit of a run here. So they finally bid it up a little bit faster. So I'll give you what happened, and then let me cancel these first, get rid of those orders. I'll give you what happened. It made one run of the high again, dipped back underneath 260, and then tried to hold above. So I'm like, okay, now you're getting a little bit of a bottoming tail candle, and then a test of the 260. Let's go into the long now, because that was the meager dip that it was able to do. But we'll let it dip for real now, back into the 260 level, see how it responds to it. It's not a huge move, but it's sad to say this, but when it had a 25-cent range for 15 minutes, that 50-cent move looks really spectacular in comparison. So that's all you're getting here, and that's immediately pulling back in. You want to see it hold that prior high at the quarters. That would be the ideal spot. Just one other note, Neil gave another fill, so yay. It goes now 6 cents. This is not going to move. It's already 3:30.
I know, it's getting
Chinese
late.
ADR not moving. Get out of it, because it's not moving. So I'm just going to get more out. I don't need this getting back into VWAP. Super chat in here. Passover. Thank you for the super chat, but pass over to, okay. AZO, can we take out the top? 3,200. So AZO. Thank you for the super chat. As you can see, I don't have to tell you guys, I'm bidding in front of 80 on Intel, so that kind of takes care of itself. The autofill is not working on my P Pro 8. I have the autofill. When you just type in the first couple letters of the symbol.
AZO's AutoZone, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So, it's at 3,200. What's the weekly chart look like on this? I'm going to pull up a weekly.
It's blasting. Wait till you see it.
Yeah, you know what? I can't cop to this. I have not looked at AutoZone in whatever. I can't remember the last time I looked at this chart.
$3,200 stock.
On the weekly, this is a monster level on the weekly, 32.5. This is right away. Look at this trend. How about you reverse split so other people can have fun too? Let others in the game and have a little bit of fun. Look at the 50 period on this thing. So apparently you just buy AutoZone at the 50 period moving average on the weekly, and then just let it fly. Triple top on the week. But the thing is, when you look at a level on the weekly chart, to me, you can't just break that 32.5. It has to actually open next week above it, close next week above it, and then you've got another leg, because it's a level on the weekly. On the daily chart, it's maybe not quite as clean up there, as you guys can already see. So that's a 32.50, but yeah, a 3,200 break, I'll tell you right now, as a day trader, you don't want any part of that. I once actually tried a break on Amazon when it was $2,200. I had it right and was still wrong because of the spreads. So it is what it is. I had what I thought was a reasonable take the break, throw a stop level. I'll get this one right. Ran it, and then boom, it was a $100 move. I thought it was reasonable to have a $10 stop on it. It was not. You needed at least 15 to 20, and you would have been good to go. So when this is a reverse split, which every earnings session, season, I kind of feel like things like this always have a chance to announce a reverse split. But hey, Costco didn't announce one yesterday, so you could just be waiting forever on AutoZone. Great looking chart. I can tell you that I wish I'd been buying that thing off the 50 period moving average, but I have not. So I did get that fill at 81 and on Intel. Just realized I like being on the other side of 75, so I'm going to move this to 76. As it is 333, got to start thinking about the exit plan for some of these positions. So it's not the most exciting close. I think when you see that happening, like that's why I'm not chasing Tesla right now, because like if it's not really, if a 50-cent move is what a $260 stock is going to do when it breaks out the high of the day and is one of the stronger names, I don't need to be in it. So you go to a level that's been holding very cleanly and just try to trade off of that if you can. So that's what we're doing here on Intel. And like I said, I got to get out of NEO because this thing is just not moving right now.
All right, I'm going to back away a little bit. I'm going to put some offers here on Google if we can. There, did we just get that? Yes, we did. We got some. Okay, good. We got some 23s there, so we're going to back away a little bit. We still have that offer up here at 27. Hopefully that will hit, but we'll take a 22. We just bounced off of the 50 period again. So, you know, just to talk about trade school a little bit here, like if you just keep on bouncing, eventually you'll probably break. I mean, it just can't just keep on doing this and supporting it. But again, the futures are kind of doing the same thing as well, but they're underneath. So it's giving me a little bit of a pause for somewhat of a concern here that the futures may not want to go too much higher than where we are right now. Remember, we do have only 15 minutes until those imbalances come out. And you've heard from me and Neil many times there about these imbalances and what they can do to specific stocks when they do hit. So a little good. We'll hit the sirens there because we hit it when we make a trade. We hit it when we get out of a trade. So we just got out of some right there at 22. Exiting a little bit more. We said we had about 40% left. Now we'll have a little bit less than that as we take more out at that level. But again, a level is a level. So, you know, we got to try to respect them as we see fit here into the close. So far, so good. Let's just keep on going. So that's Google. We know where it's going to go down to the downside. Hopefully it does not go too far down, but we know we like this name. So that is Google for the long. I'm just going to go have a quick check here because everyone's got to make sure that they hit the like and the subscribe, right? I mean, we don't want to get upset about anything right here. So let me just double check what exactly is going on right now with our likes today. Right. I hope we're not going to be upset with it. So let me just have a double check here.
You might want to refresh it.
Yeah, okay. We have 31 right now.
No, it's 314.
Hold on a second. I'm going to, 300, that's it, 314. Okay, how many do we have watching? 3,600 people watching right now. Guys, if you have not hit the like and subscribe, like we could see, look, last time Neil ran to the desk, I did this by myself, we got over 1,000 right now. Now we have Neil here. This number should be like, Neil, like honestly, maybe 10,000 or something. Let's see if we can get that likes going to the upside.
You should be logging out, logging back in and under other accounts so they can
You guys should be logging under, yes, other accounts, exactly. Get going on that right now. Open as many tabs as possible. 376. Do I have to refresh this again, or are people just not doing this?
500.
500 right now. All right, we're halfway there. Let's see if we can get this. Get out of here, ad. Toronto Raptors. Come on, man.
Set.
What is this, Scotty Barnes time? 568 right now. We'll take that. It's a little bit better. Let's see if we can get up to 1,000. Thank you, everybody, for your continued support of the stream, man. I mean, we do it every single day here. 600 right now. We're getting closer. We're getting closer. Over 3,600 watching, though. We should be getting a few more than that. Let's go to 700. We'll check back in a couple seconds, and I promise you, Neil, this will be over 1,000 likes. So we'll double check that. And if not, then that's it, man.
If we get to 1,000 likes, I will trash talk Ryan Faluna the entire time he's on the Aftermarket show about his terrible Chicago Bears. I'll give him a hard time.
All right.
I'm going to do that anyways.
That locked it in right
I'm going to do it anyways. Let's be real. Sebastian just said he only has 5 accounts to watch us with.
Okay.
So Sebastian, you know,
sounds like perfect amount.
You're doing yeoman's work there. If everyone can be like that, you got to cook the books every now and then. Not like SMCI allegedly does, because that's the cooking of the books that you don't want to do.
No, you want to do the right cooking of the books.
No, speaking of SMCI, by the way, SMCI actually up 4%, and they're going to close the week on a slightly positive note, right? Because all you have to do sometimes is only look at the nice, gorgeous bull flag that it has right now and not do this here on SMCI. So this is going to be something for next week. They do have a reverse. I keep saying they have a split coming up.
Right. I
look at so many of these Mullins and yada, 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 small cap crapper. And so I just keep on saying reverse split because usually like 10 times out of 10, 9 times out of 10, that's the type of split we end up talking about on the show. But no, their split is 10 for 1. Effective, though, Monday night. So we're not going to be able to trade this cheap until Tuesday, although it's a lot cheaper than it was after that bad news. What's crazy to me about this, and like I just every time I see this, you lost the entire year on this stock.
It was rough.
It tripled up from January, like in the first quarter of this year, this stock was a triple. And it's right back to that same 400 level, and we're not even at the end of the year yet. I cannot think of another time this happened, especially considering you just got added to the S&P 500, positive catalyst usually. It does the split. Usually you're doing that if things are going well. But being investigated by the DOJ is not good, so that is obviously not good for them. I'd love to see some kind of a nice little reversal squeeze, because now I feel like the better opportunity would be if they have some kind of great response to all this, and then we can catch some longs after the split does happen. So I just took another leg out because there's now buyers at 80 again on Intel, and there's only 20 minutes left in the session, so we got to get some out here. End of the day coming up rapidly here.
Rapido. Okay, yeah, you're welcome, SP Williams. $2 for that little thank you. You're welcome. We'll be here every day. So he says, thank you for doing trading every single day. We talk about that. And if I'm not here, someone will fill in for me and vice versa. For Neil, we did have some new traders coming through and we're really happy.
Shout out to Satya.
Yeah, shout out to Satya.
Her birthday next week.
Yeah, exactly. She had mentioned that. And also to Joe back there. Yeah. So we'll see more of them as we go throughout the next couple weeks, of course. Very happy to add more and more traders to our trading family. Okay, now, not much happening. To be honest with you, we'll still wait to see if there's any. Google looks like it'll break this 05, and when it does, we gone on that one. Google breaking 05 and will be out. So this trade did not work. We can slap a fail on it. It looks like it will wind up breaking. It's a good thing we did get some there out at 22. This is just one last chance there. Not a great look here for Google into the end of the day. So not super happy with this trade, but we will get stopped out once it breaks 4s, as long as that is the right trade. There it is. And we'll get out. So unfortunately, that sucks. I mean, I don't know. Always hate to lose there, but that Google trade just didn't really work out. We were able to get some out, able to get some out again, and then lose on that last piece there. So yuck. Not good with that, but oh well. All right, this held out pretty good.
I'll do this for sure.
Okay, we're just waiting. Iraq suspending all flights. I don't think that's the end of the world there. But okay, so that's just some, again, so we're hearing more story now about some suspension of flights. Yeah, Iraq suspends all Iraqi Airways flights to and from Beirut due to deteriorating security situation in Lebanon. So you never want to hear stuff like that. That's bad news. But we have good news in forms of super chats here. Hey Davis, thank you so much for the $10 super chat. Sir. Even if you didn't super chat this, I'd do it anyways. If we get 1,100 likes for the show, then will I say, quote, that sounds like a terrible trade to everything that Ryan Faluna brings up in the Aftermarket show. 100% I'll do it. Ryan's a fun guy. I think he'll probably figure out that I'm just kind of like pulling his leg, but I will do my best to be serious. He's probably watching this, or someone's going to go
I'm not watching this right now.
You guys cannot be telling. No, he does watch it. Remember, he always comments on my trades.
Okay, well. What am I going to not read the super chat? No. It's a great. What I will say is the next time you guys have an idea like that, just DM one of us on X.
We're already thinking like that. He's already got some narcs in here, eh? Who's the narc?
Shadow, thank you for the super chat here. KY is out of the office. Great work, great content as always. We're just trying to have a little bit of fun here, and as I said, he's a lot of fun here. Old Dog said yesterday he liked coin, but no mention today. I don't think. No, we did. Yeah, we mentioned crypto this morning. Certainly, I traded Mara, not Coinbase. I think it was more a matter of, look, you can like something the long side. It's like what sets up the trade that you want. So we were talking about the continuation on Bitcoin holding and breaking above 65. But when you look at the levels here on coin, I mean, it probably should have been something. Yeah, like it did kind of pull back right into that after that support there at the 180 and then break out the next level. Okay, fine. Like I probably should have had that. Why was I looking at Mara instead of coin 180? It doesn't even make any sense. Like Mara, so I pick Mara. So this is probably about as big of a fail as possible because Mara into the previous close, we do that dip buy, which you can see like it worked initially, then reverse trend to the downside. Now, I know I liked Mara for this consolidation break, but hey, and the 50-period moving average hold. But Coinbase, man, it's a similar setup, but just better. Dips into the previous close at 180. The close is actually in and around here. Dips right into it, and then just starts ripping to the upside. So yeah, what the heck, Neil? That was better than Mara. Slap the old fail on it. So it was dip buy into the previous close on a couple of crypto names, one of which proceeded to go up 5%. The other one bounced 1% and then failed right after. So yeah, good look on coin, but you know what? You still have to pick the right stock. Like the thesis was Bitcoin holding that 65, look for continuation longs, just did it in the wrong spot. Like it happens all the time as a trader. Like you're trading AMD and Nvidia goes. You're trading Apple or Microsoft goes, or in this particular case, I was trading Mara and it was Coinbase that should have been V1. And I was talking about Coinbase specifically with reference to the miners and how it had been relatively strong with my physio guy last night. He loves trading crypto and was just going on and on about the move in Shiba Inu because he's in it and loving it, apparently. I'm like, yeah, as long as you take profits.
Exactly. I mean, it was only up 37% this week.
I'm just saying,
so it was a good move there for Shiba Inu. I just like, sometimes you do have to zoom out and sometimes you get carried away. And I didn't even look at, I was just looking at the time now. And I was thinking self, what time is it? And, we only have 15 more minutes left in the day, but look at this trend. I mean, you zoom back out a little bit and I'm just thinking why are we even really going long here? I mean, this is a short. We're underneath VWAP. We've not even come close to testing it. We did it here, at 10 o'clock. But that was just a thank you very much, come again type of situation, all the way to the downside there. And then we retested it here, and it was like, no, we don't want to get that high. And we were actually trading this, remember, in the TQQs. And then this dipped out in, and we were able to reload this at 20,200, which was, again, the key level that we wrote down on our sticky note. Go make sure you find out the sticky note wherever your X or Instagram favors, wherever you want to go for that. But look at this. It's a downside push, right? And we're sitting here, again, just wondering why I'm going long. So if this breaks right in here, the NASDAQ, then we're going to get out of this last piece of our TQs and then just call it a wrap. So we're getting very, very close right now, breaking through 85, and we're gone on this one. And then we'll just take questions. We could do a little of a Q&A. We can have some fun or whatever. But right now, with only 15 minutes left in the day and 3 minutes left until these imbalances come out, I feel a little silly right now doing anything
I'll try
in this market. So we'll wait to see what winds up happening. STEM is here. GM is here as a sell. XOM maybe as a sell into the close as well with some imbalance locator action coming through right now. 116. What's sticky note? Yeah. Right there. So you can have a look at that. But that's something that I'm looking for right now in this market. So we'll try to be patient with it. I feel like we're good here with the rest of the market coming through right now. No problem. So that's that. Let's just stay the course. If this breaks, which it should be breaking momentarily, 71.85, we're out of this trade. It is the TQQs.
Yeah, the super chats are coming in. So I've stuck my foot in my mouth at this point by saying I'll do it because I love doing fun stuff, but this will be harder to do. Thank you, Spark Shop, who said, I will super chat an additional $5 for every instance of Neil using the word, that's me, using the word meow instead of the word now during the Aftermarket show. So that's not necessarily I have to try to keep it, it's not an easy thing to do. I'm not an actor or anything like that, but I'll give it my best shot. What's hilarious about this, you had no way of knowing this, my nephew, Castle, my brother's oldest son. When he was young, he couldn't pronounce my name properly, and he would say meow before he would say Neil. And the crazy thing is, my brother, his dad, did exactly the same thing when we were little. I wouldn't know that because I was like a baby. But my brother would say, my mom told me the story, he would call me meow before he could pronounce my name. And as a matter of fact, I once ended the show with basically I said, Uncle Meow says hi, ended the show that way like a couple of years ago so I could show it to him because he asked me to do it, my nephew. So I'll do my best. So every time, instead of saying imbalances are about to come out, meow.
It's on for the after show.
I know, but I'll do that in the after show.
Right.
And then apparently I also have to say every single idea is bad for Ryan.
Yeah, the Ryan Faluda thing, single idea is bad is happening for sure.
No, that's happening for sure. I mean, that's so easy.
Locked in.
Yeah, because you have fun with people like that all the time. So
because I gave him a hard time. That one time he said he runs 5K. I was like, why aren't you running 6 type of thing? I think that'll be hilarious.
You always try to up your game.
That's what I mean.
I can't run 5K forever.
I'm trying to motivate the guy. You know what I'm saying?
You know?
Right there. So yeah, shout out to Ryan Faluna and the rest of.
Brenkles is working up to triathlons. He does like 5K, now we're going to 6, 7K. He wants to do triathlons. He's a risk manager on the trading floor here. You got to always level up.
Worried about managing some risk around here as well, I think.
Stay in shape.
Yeah, exactly. Do all that and say what's up to Ryan Faluna for me when you do see him at 3 p.m. or at 4 p.m. It's 3:50 right now as we wait for these imbalances. So let me just get this ready to go. I'll show you all, well, we'll both show you all the stocks here that we can. I'm going to change this so now we only see NYSE and NASDAQ. These will come fast and furious in about a couple seconds here with only 20 seconds now until the imbalances hit. So this will all get activated. We'll do our best to show you. We are now out of the TQQs, but it was a good trade. So I have no complaints about what we just did right there on that stock. So far, so good here with our TQQ trade. Out of it now, I mean, we really did well to get out. Majority there. We should have got out a little bit more there, but at least our spidey senses were up when that hit. So that was good. We like that trade. All right, 3, 2, and 1. All right, here come the imbalances right now. We'll watch out to see what does happen with the NASDAQ. We have NVIDIA with a buy. There it goes, shooting to the upside. So hallelujah. Maybe NVIDIA here saves the day. But no, I'm just kidding. Let's wait to see the NASDAQ still down 0.66. That's NVIDIA. Yeah, not really for this time. Intel, nice move for Intel there. Anybody holding that short? Nice.
I just punched out.
Okay, you were in the short. Yeah, so this is what I mean, right? Very difficult to trade some of this. Apple down there. Oops, that's SES. Apple with a buy there as well. Let's go, Apple. Not doing much. A little bit of a bump up, but it seems like it's relatively uneventful here into the close. Yeah. I would say it's NVIDIA was the big one. But the thing is, when you're looking at NVIDIA, you're always going to say like, wow, that's a lot of shares. But ultimately, it's 230 million on the day. So you're talking about like 1%, not even of the imbalance is of shares today is what needs to be traded at imbalance close. That's like, that's a small piece right there. It's much more of an important piece for Intel. So you see the move that Intel made, a little more dramatic on the chart because 1.7 million is bigger percentage of 61 million than the same number is of 220 million. So easy kind of math there. That's the kind of math I'm good at. But right there you could see tricky play, but at the end of the day, a decent one anyways. Why did I just get into Tesla right there? Okay, I must have had a order that we did not want pending. I don't know.
But just very quickly,
I'm out.
I punched out of Intel. Didn't even bother for the stop to hit. We were in at 93. It broke 85. I'm like, let's just hit that out when it was 2 million to the buy side. But there is, so to see GHC here, GE Healthcare, 1 million to the sell side. I just looked it up. And effective at today is the 27th. So yes, effective at the close tonight. It's a float increase.
Ooh.
At the S&P. For GHC. So float increase. I know it's 1 million to the sell side, but it's an anticipated float increase in the S&P. So I would not necessarily be, it's because it's a significant amount of size. GHC hasn't even done that much volume on the day. It's done 3.5 million in vol, and it is 1 million on the imbalance. So you would think that's big, but it's supposed to be a float increase, and that's a sell imbalance. So when I see that, all hands are usually off and not wanting to touch that with a 10-foot pole. This got rugged a little bit here in the middle of it. I'm trying to figure out,
there was news about GE. They got downgraded today. Remember? It was
right
I don't
in the
know
middle
if it was
of the day.
GE or GHC.
Well, look at it. So it's trending up the whole day. Then right here at 12:18, it pulls into VWAP. It's holding VWAP. Then boom, right to the downside. Then trends down ever since when it's supposed to be a float increase at the S&P 500. So something must have happened to GHC in the middle of the day, I'm going to assume. I mean, it's not like it matters now because we're 7 minutes from the close, but wow, I feel like that would have been an opportunity if you were sitting at your desk. Like, look at the uptrend, break of trend, loss of VWAP, and then just trend down. Probably didn't have GHC on many people's radars, but that's not a bad looking trend continuation trade. But there had to have been news.
Like, I don't know if you guys think Neil's joking or not, but like, we only have 900 likes. Like, if you want this guy right now to basically mock everything that Ryan Faluna says. Let's get this up to 1,000.
Like, what are we doing?
We're just playing around. We're not going to mock everything he says, but Neil's going to tell him that does not look like a good trade.
No, I'll be serious about it.
If we could get, no, I know, but I just want to kind of see his reaction too. I think that'll be hilarious. So we got to get that to 1,000 right now, and then 1,100, or was it 1,100?
It said 1,100.
Okay, well, let's get to 1,100 then. If that's not 1,100, it's not happening.
Exactly.
And then we also have that, let's get into the meow, and that will be $5 for every time that happens. So make sure you might have the most entertaining aftermarket show of all time without any earnings. I mean, you know, it's always exciting when we have earnings, but now I want to thank, and again, I forget the individual. If you just have to just say what's up in the chat, and I'll remember you don't have to super chat again. Spence or Scott or something.
I'll make sure we get it right here because it was.
Make sure we get his name again. Give him some credit because that was a good idea.
Well, okay, so it was Hey Davis on the 1,100 likes, but the meow. Where was it? That was Spark Shop.
Spark Shop. Okay.
Spark Shop was
we'll spark that one up.
Yeah, Spark Shop was the meow. Sorry, and then Hey Davis is the just punk Ryan Faluna.
Okay, good.
Hopefully
so we'll try to get both of those. But right now we have 1K. I can't see more than 1K. Can you see when it goes to 1?
I think you have to.
Okay.
Oh yeah, you're right. It rounds it off, so I can't tell when it gets up there.
Ramin will get us.
Yeah, we're getting there. We have 5 minutes to go. We'll get there for sure.
Okay.
For sure. We'll lock that one in, I think.
Here comes NVIDIA. Look at this move on NVIDIA. A buy-side imbalance, someone says. Look at that, man. NVIDIA really starting to go upside right now.
Wow.
Yeah, big time
That
movement.
story was bunk.
Yeah, that story was complete crap. I think we haven't heard much about it, but I mean, we'll see. I always think when there's smoke, there's fire possibly. Nice move up for the NASDAQ. We got out of the NASDAQ, and this is part of what just happens to you, right? Like there it is on the imbalance. We got out on the lows, and it just rips right back up there. So nice move for the NASDAQ, right back into the 200 period. Good trading there for anybody that had it, but that was a tough one to swallow because you had to hold against the NASDAQ imbalances. So, all right, you're out of here. Go have some fun with Ryan Faluna. I'm going to say that we are going to be at that 1K mark right now. We're already there right now. I tasked sort of Ramin to let us know exact number. I don't know if is the exact number.
Got to know.
Ramin, this is an easy one for you. You don't have to start yelling at me. You're so aggressive. I'm trying to figure out the exact number of likes because right now we only have. If I hover over unlike, wait, what if I unlike? No, it doesn't show. Because, you know, we're missing like the exact number, like whether or not it's 1.1K or whatever. Okay, I'm just talking nonsense right now. All right, let's just get 10, 25. 75 likes.
Let's go.
Away right now. All right, not doing much, just watching out for the TQs. Let's go over to Google. That was a name that we liked as well. Today we messed that one up. You know, honest, we have to be honest with you. That was not a good trade for us on Google. And then Tesla was just a mistake. We got in by that one by accident. And then NVIDIA, look at NVIDIA climb the rest of the day. Look, we had some good numbers come through today, right? We had that PCE number come out, and we liked that this morning. Looks like it was more aggressive, so that was a good one. Actually, it was 0.2 versus 0.3, so it was a miss. But at the end of the day, the market liked it early and then did not like it late. So the trend continues to be your friend if you're short. It's been a positive September. Brendan brought us those numbers earlier, so we're so far so good here. Some of that talk of September being the worst month ever may not be true so far here this month. Doesn't mean it's not going to happen with the next couple days coming through. We only have one more day, right? September 30th is Monday. We talked about that with the resplit of SMCI. So yeah, looks like it'll be a good movement for the month of September right now. With only 3 minutes left, there's SMCI 420. Gets back to everybody's favorite level there. And now we'll just wait to see if SMCI can sort of withhold that bid. I just want to say thank you to everybody, man, for joining again today. We had some great opportunities to meet new traders this week, including Satya and Joe. So I want to give a big thank you to them for stepping up and in while Adara hasn't been here. So that's been, you know, really great to know more traders, give you guys more content, and we're always happy to do that. We want to thank all of our sponsors for the week as well, with Benzinga and Firefly coming through as well. Trade the Pool coming through. All of that. Thank you so much for all the sponsors. Trade ideas as well. Get ready to have Ryan and Neil, you know, give you the goods, man. I mean, you know, respect what we do here on the after show. It's not easy just to sit here every single day and make calls and give these different names back and forth. So I want to give a big shout out to Neil for staying late tonight, Ramin or Fabian, whichever one is turning the dials there tonight. It's Friday, so Not it. Okay, it's Fabian, apparently. Ramin just beat him to the not it game there. That's always a good one, especially in our family. I say to the kids, you got to do the dishes, not it. Okay, well, sorry about that now. The other one's got to do them until they realize we have to take turns doing that in the Katina household. All right, so with only a minute and a bit left, let's quickly look at the imbalances one more time. Looks like XOM will be the odd man out here, still showing a sell side imbalance for XOM here into the close, so that could be something with only a couple more minutes left here. We're just looking around, seeing if there's anything. XOM downside still up that 2.69% as energy's been a play, right? We've talked a little bit about energy the last couple days here, moving into the space. It's been a tricky one for many traders, but again, you know, watch out. Energy's dipped in. We've looked at XLE a couple times. It's fallen back out. XOM, though, today holding fort. What does that mean for XLE, though? XLE up 2%. All right. She's over there. We're getting ready to go here now. With only 30 seconds left, we have to remember that this closing bell, as every bell this week, and for a while, has been brought to you by Fireflies. How many are we away? 18 away. Okay, we need 18 likes, guys. If you haven't hit it right now. There's only minutes left. We got to get 1,100 likes. We have over 1,000 right now, 3,500 watching. We are moments away from that like. We'll do the countdown right now into the close. With only hit the like for Ramin at least then. You know, she's just staying there for no reason to hit the bell. Hit the likes. 3, other than hitting the bell. 2 and 1. See? She's so happy to do that every day. I think we found our new bell ringer right there. Thank you to Ramin as well. So, okay, the U.S. markets are closed. Obviously, we want to keep thanking everybody. Neil, okay, we've got that number. 1,100 has now been met. So, Mr. Ryan Faluna, we look forward to seeing you on the after show. Make sure you stay tuned. Do not go anywhere. The stream does not change. Neil's ready. He's at the desk. There are no earnings, but it's Ryan, it's Benzinga, it's a good time. Let's go live in the meow with Neil Roberts. See you, everybody.
Thank you very much, Sean. Another fantastic week of trading and another great aftermarket show is going to start right about meow. So we're going to have a little bit of fun with it because at the end of the day, that's what we're doing here, Ramin. As I have no idea what's so funny. We're just trying to have fun. It's a great show. It's a great day. Unfortunately, though, hey, we got to go over some negative things that are happening in the market right now because obviously you saw what happened yesterday with SMCI, and I feel like that's dragging on these markets as we speak. So when we go over the sectors and just sort of take a broad step back, if you weren't short the chips at some point today, you missed out on the opportunity, and I don't wonder if right now we're looking at a bit of a sea change, right? Where everything AI, everything chipland has been leading us to the upside, and meow, we got to start thinking about things like energy and maybe some of the other staples starting to work up a little bit. So, I'm looking at SMH here, everybody. You're down 2%. Right now, we're sort of looking at 247.5, closing just right around the lows here on SMH. Can we come to the chart for a quick little second? Because maybe we can come to the charts right meow. Because there we go, right at that low. You pop up the daily, and I'm looking at what these semiconductors are doing right meow. You know, we've essentially failed this breakout at 252. That's not what you want to see here. Because obviously, you wanted to punch through this resistance, and then you wanted to continue that move. Now, meow, obviously, you're looking at a small pullback, which still has a 50-period moving average for it, but I'm a bit concerned with what we're seeing right meow on SMH. And if you throw in what's going on meow in NVIDIA, well, this is a problem, NVIDIA. NVIDIA, and you would have heard, I said this, I know Sean was looking for this, a host of traders on the floor were all looking for the same thing right now on NVIDIA. Because this was 130, we're like, this is heading to 130, the same way everybody believed that we'd see Tesla up in the 260s, where it is right now, we're seeing it up at those levels. But we're not seeing NVIDIA continue that move. It's a disappointment, and what I really don't like about this right meow is On earnings, we were chilling here at the 128 into 130. So to get right back to that earnings level and fail it is not what you want to see right now on NVIDIA. And where NVIDIA goes, the rest of the market tends to fall. At least the chip names, at least a bunch of tech, at least the AI craze names. So it's not a good level that you're going to be fading off of. There's always a silver lining. I always feel like, when you have a down move, or maybe a down day in a stock that you like, you want to be able to look at what that silver lining might be. And, as we look at this one right now, again, on NVIDIA, you've got higher lows. So yes, we failed that 130 area. We didn't go back above the earnings top, the day of earnings. But we still got this nice, gentle uptrend that we've been working with on NVIDIA, working into a bit of a wedge pattern here. So it's not all bad. I am a little bit concerned about the pullback here. Let's see what happens when we get to that 50-period moving average. Obviously, we're not going to get there right now because it's the aftermarket. But if we test that next week, I'd like to see us bounce. Be important for us to bounce. And now we got to think about, equally important, what kind of, I think, caused a little bit of this mess that we're staring at on the chip names, on the SMH, on NVIDIA, on the entire sector right now. And that's SMCI. DOJ taking a hard look at them. You got a whistleblower that's talking about accounting issues. Obviously, they delayed when they're going to do the when they're going to drop their earnings. They got a non-compliance notice because of the delay in dropping their financial report. There was a short seller report that happened recently with this. So you have a host of things that are going on right now with SMCI that it's just a problem. And when you barely hold on to the lows like this, continuing the trend, you get the reverse split. There's going to be more volatility when you reverse split this thing because it's going to be cheaper for everyone to play options. So I think there's some trouble here with SMCI. And we have to start, even if you're not trading it, and I think we'll probably start trading it a heck of a lot more next week when it's $40 and not $400. But even if you're not trading it, you're going to want to have this up next week. Because I think if it can relief rally, there's going to be some, maybe it's going to start pulling some things up with it, the same way it dragged just about everything down. I mean, I was looking at charts yesterday at the moment that SMCI went to the downside, and there were stocks that didn't even make any sense that were falling off that sentiment. So, not looking very good. And I know I keep saying this. Thank you guys. What I love about the community, and we have to do this for each other, call me out. Because Jim Lossy, I keep saying reverse split. And it's just a force of habit. SMCI is doing a split, not a reverse split. Mullen does reverse splits, right? Sundial does reverse splits. AMC does reverse splits. Good companies or better companies obviously do splits. So SMCI doing a split. I made that mistake like 5 times. From now on, I'm going to get it right when it comes to the split with SMCI. But we're just talking all day long here. And yes, I did say it again, Marco trades. But as I said, from now on, I'm going to get this one absolutely right. Spark Shop, all chip. Oh, here we go. There we go. Thank you, Tyler ATX, with another super chat at Spark Shop. I'll chip in for Meow's 11 and 12, but that one doesn't count because it wasn't in lieu of the other word. Everybody, you guys know what's up here. Always just having a little bit of fun in the aftermarket show. I do want to go over everything else that's happening right now on the entire market. And look at what just happened to GDX. We've been talking about these highs in gold. So another pullback. It's still in the upward trend, but you had the break of the high, and you're already pulling back into prior highs on GDX. I wanted to make sure we check out GLD as well. And we've mentioned this, I think, the last couple of weeks. GLD with a bit of a stronger move upside than the miners right now. And obviously, you can see that with the chart. A little bit of a pullback, but a much stronger trend when you're just straight up in GLD. Worth pointing out there. Got to call it like we see it because we mentioned this morning with our good friend Michael Noss. Well, at least he mentioned that MSOS hadn't broken out yet, and you want to wait for things to make that breakout pattern. And I said we're looking forward to this breaking this channel, but another relatively weak day here for MSOS, closing in the red, but holding on to this consolidation. That's the good sign. It's consolidating at the 50-period moving average. As far as I'm concerned, it's still attempting to break out this channel. And when I have a trend line drawn like this, like a new trend line, there's your bottom here, and then you make this top twice, forms a downward trend that it's holding on to. Well, you have 4 days closing above that trend line holding the 50-period. So I think it's gearing up for a move into that $8 level on the cannabis name. So it might not happen right now, but I'm telling you, MSOS, it feels like it's gearing up for something. I know we have an election season coming up here. I don't know how many days left we have right now till the U.S. election. I don't think we've heard enough out of, usually it's the Democrat side or either side when it comes to cannabis to get us excited. But you never really know. This is usually the time of year you get a little something going with it. So I want to talk about a few other things going on here. Obviously, when gold is down, silver not doing too well. I want to point out what's happening with the Qs. Much like NVIDIA, bit of a pullback today. However, specifically to the Qs, you're pulling back into prior high and holding it. That's a good sign. Like the 485, 485, we closed just above that. So support the last couple of days at prior resistance. That's a decent sign for the triple Qs. Lots of strength. UNG, the old Widowmaker, something I know Ryan Faluna, who we're going to have on any second. I see him getting ready right now over there. So that looks like we're going to have him in just a couple of minutes. And we've called this the Widowmaker, but shout out to anyone that played that call from one of our friends here at the show, Michael Noss, and bought some nat gas because UNG is breaking out. No question about it. KWeb, Chinese ADRs. There is no question about this right now. I can talk till I'm blue in the face about the chip names and how we trade them every single day. But today, regardless of how your trading day was, it probably could have been a heck of a lot better if you just went long one of the Chinese ADRs at some point. No question about it. KWeb, another 4% to the upside as we speak. Alibaba had a pretty decent day. A pretty decent day in BABA, only up 2%. But look at the daily chart on this thing. Unbelievable. It's already in the middle of this breakout. We were just at $100. Right now we're at $107 here. Have a great weekend. It's Fabian will be on the ones and twos because Ramin just exited the building. Alibaba looking incredibly strong there. Fantastic. Oh, we just got another one. There we go. Thank you very much there, Spark Shop. We appreciate you for the first 10. I'll hit that like. You're a sport because I'm going overboard with it. I'll tell you that right now because I like to have fun and we all like to have fun. That's why you're such a great community. So we can enjoy each other, so we can have fun learning about trade, so we can all become better traders. That's why I wanted to make sure that before we bring Ryan in here, we talked a little bit about how strong Chinese ADRs were. I don't think I gave him a hard enough look today. I feel like that was a mistake. I traded Mara instead of Coinbase. Similar setup. Bitcoin holding 65,000. I decided, and it was basically just a pullback into prior high. I like the Mara setup. It had the 50 period, but let's be real. Is this as strong a stock as this? It looks about the same, but you've got to use every single time frame. Because when I look at that 5-minute chart and what it did yesterday, dip right back into this close, like this dip into the prior close on Coinbase, it's just a little bit better than Mara. So the daily charts might look similar. But the dip into the prior close on Mara is coming off of a failed high and then a double fail of the high. And it's a small distinction, but it's a pretty large one where these are aftermarket levels in the morning instead of the previous day. So when you dip into Coinbase at 180, you're still at the prior high. Like you're holding on to green, and you can see the rest of what happens. So sometimes you just pick the wrong stock. You're in the right space, you're in the right idea, the right concept, but you just don't go in the right stock. It should have been Coinbase today. But when I get that thumbs up from Fabian, which he just gave it to me right now, so I know we got our good friend, Mr. Ryan Faluna from Benzinga. Let's get some trader talk, everybody. Nope. Ryan. First of all, it's Friday. Glad to have you as always, but how was your trading day? Because you always say, every time we bring you on here on a Friday, you always tell us, Friday's sometimes a little bit slower. and then we're always able to coax not just a couple of trades that you made on a Friday anyways, but a couple of trade ideas going into next week every single time. So how was the day, and what are you going to have for us today? Because I know there's something.
Yeah, well, I'm doing pretty great right meow, so it's nice to see you. I will say I actually didn't have any trades going today until the afternoon, and I was once again concerned about coming on here and having nothing to talk about other than sports and cats. Now, that wasn't the case because as you were mentioning about those Chinese ADRs, I didn't play any of the big names, but I did end up scalping UXIN throughout the day. This was a scalper's paradise today. There were a couple of others. JFU and BZ would have been some other names that you could have scalped, but UXIN was my target today. So I actually, in the afternoon, right when we started to get the volume expansion, if you have my chart here, you'll see that it really kind of moved away from VWAP. It popped. Volume really kind of traded up, and this gave us, do I have something else on the screen there? I don't know. I'm not sharing that. Anyway, sorry about that. UXIN gave a whole bunch of scalps this afternoon. A lot of those Chinese names were moving earlier or have been moving a little bit, and they actually spread to the micro caps. Now, I do have good news for you. I also didn't trade coin today, and you're right. That would have been the right one to trade here today. But let me actually flip to that and go to a daily.
Actually, Ryan, can we go over, maybe we'll go over UXIN because now it's working.
Sure.
Yeah, let's just go back to that. We'll get the coin after.
Yeah, we'll get the coin here in a sec. So again, we've been seeing a lot with some of these Chinese names. David Tepper was on CNBC saying he's long China, bullish on China. Well, so you can see here from the intraday UXIN chart, this was really kind of trading up. And yeah, there were little moves down to the VWAP. Volume was pretty pedestrian though. But then it was almost like all of the traders started talking to each other again. And look what happened. When that volume kicked up, this gave you the trading opportunities that you needed. And what's crazy about this is that this didn't actually come back into the VWAP until the end of the day. Like it would pull a little bit. You kind of had to be creative with your buys there or have a really tight stop if you're going to try to catch a knife, not coming into a VWAP. You can actually use some of the other moving averages. I was watching these EMAs here today, and it was the 65 EMA, which my partner talks about all the time, that really provided the best opportunity here today. But then at the end of the day, we actually did get that VWAP touch, and it ramped into the close on some pretty decent volume. So I didn't trade it here at the end. I wrote like 4 trades, 4 quick scalps on the way up here earlier in the day. And again, that kind of came out of nowhere. I was like, oh man, I don't know if I'm going to have any executed trades here to talk about, but UXIN, Chinese, they did it.
So, you know what? Like those Chinese ADRs all flying to the upside. I got to be honest with you, Ryan, because I'm looking at that UXIN right now, my 3-minute, and we made that last push up. And I think you're talking right in here at the end. Like at the end of the day, it's bouncing off that clean support. See, like I've been looking at a lot of trend reversals. So I can't feel like I like that trade because I'm looking at that short off of the trend reversal now. It bounces off VWAP, so a winning trade is a winning trade. But I've been usually looking at those mean reversions. Like if I draw a trend line in here and that pullback, I kind of feel like I might have been short that. And what's crazy about this stock too, this daily chart, I mean, what the heck is this thing, Ryan? And what have they done to the value? Now, obviously for these small cap runners, right, like it's a low float. That's why, you know, was it 100 million market cap? The floats are not usually that big. So we take advantage of the volume when it gets there. But wow. It just goes to show you trade these, you don't own them. Because that daily chart, I don't know too much about them here, but that is insane on the daily. Insane.
Yeah. So this I don't have the data in front of me, but this for sure looks like a whole bunch of reverse splits. I mean, looking at the daily, it's kind of crazy because it's like, what did this thing really push off from the 200-day moving average, which is the blue line here? And it's like, yeah, I can't really put too much stock into a single chart like that. So now, I mean, you said it right. I think the smartest thing that you said right there is don't own these things, just trade them. And this is something that our group talks about all of the time. If you're going to trade risky assets, that's okay. There's a time and a place for it, but you have to know what you're doing before you get into that trade. I knew today when I was hitting this, I was going to be really, really quick on my stop or really, really quick on my sale or my stop. If the stock goes against me, just get out. You'll have another opportunity to buy it. And if you get in profit, don't be afraid to take it. You can do it over and over. That's kind of what I did here. So that was really the thought process here on UXIN. I was bored. I needed something to do right now.
You know what? And what's crazy about it is we actually say this a lot. I've heard Sean say it. I probably don't say it enough. When we're live on the show and like everyone's watching us, in the morning, there's always something happening. From 9:30 till like 11 o'clock, we're in the morning show. There's always a trade. There's always something moving you can flip to. But in the afternoon, it is very easy to try to find something that isn't there. We get that pressure because we're on live and everyone wants us to be in a trade. So you'll see us try to just do banter and have fun with the audience and end up, just trying to be entertaining. If I don't see a great trade, you kind of don't want to be in anything in that moment. That said, if you can find something in play, and I usually say this on days where the market's down, where you have that pressure on, the Qs are under pressure today, and NVIDIA with like that fake Bloomberg story, but it was to the downside. And after SMCI yesterday, when the market's weak, the only place oftentimes to look for longs is going to be in those small cap runners. Now, energy was relatively strong today, but you're going to trade an energy name in the afternoon after oil's closed? It hasn't. So generally speaking, you do want to look at some of those high flyers. Now, you'd mentioned Coinbase, and there's no question about it. I got called out, rightfully so. I was called out on our show about Coinbase because yesterday in the afternoon, we were sort of just talking about things that we're setting up for. Bitcoin was strong. And I basically laid out, hey, Coinbase looks like a great continuation long trade. And then it did the old patented dip into prior close, like on a dime, and then ran $5 or $6. And then I took Mara, which had a similar move, but was more bearish and on a separate time frame. I didn't lose on the stock, but I reloaded it a second time, and that didn't work out. If I had just gone over to Coinbase, that could have made my entire day. So what did you see on Coinbase? I'm guessing you didn't have it either?
Nope, didn't trade this today, but that's okay, my man, because guess what? We're going to get another opportunity. I feel you on that, and I love that you are encouraging the chat to hold you accountable. My chat does the same thing, and it makes me a better person, better trader, I should say. Maybe a better person too, I suppose.
Yeah, why not?
Anyway, next week here, we've got a test coming up on the 50-day. We are only 2 points away from that 193.25. We might find some resistance there. Maybe you get an opportunity where it like runs into some resistance, dips a little bit, and then bang, goes through it the next day. And here's the best part. We have a target already lined up for us. 201 is going to be your 200-day. I would absolutely expect some resistance there. If it consolidates and then reclaims it, I think you probably have some more. So as far as like a trade setup here, I would say if you can close above that 50, okay, if you can, whatever day this happens next week, and in fact, if it happens, you can close above that 50. That might be your trigger for that move to the 200. And if you pay yourself some of that at the 200, you might actually be able to leave a trailer on in case this continues. One of the things that I'm really optimistic about from this daily chart, other than some of these levels here, look at these volume candles for the last 2 days. Really, really good sign. Let's take out some of those moving averages. Let's keep bringing some volume in here. Hopefully, Bitcoin helps us out. We could have a pretty decent swing trade on next week. And we could also probably have day trading opportunities in this if it stays strong.
Well, I can tell you it's always been a day trading stock. The thing that scares me about that idea, Ryan, why I might not be feeling it here, you got a death cross on the daily chart. Oh no, the death cross. The worst. I mean, okay, fine. It's the... I'm not a chartered what's the word? Chartered technician or whatever it is. But at the end of the day, it is one of those indicators that people will say is one of the more bearish signals in the market. It just flashed it. Now, it obviously has broken out since then, but it just flashed that. Now, does that give you any concern? And the other side of that, of course, is you got this 200 level where everything is lining up. That's the exact point that they intersected. This is the exact point it rolled over. It was gigantic previous support level. It was a breakout price going back into February. So are you worried about a bit of a chop in that range, or I like to use the word bamboozlement because I'm stealing it from the midday host. He says bamboozle all the time. So I feel like when a level like that is usually bamboozlement the first time it comes through, because literally everybody's looking at it exactly the same time. And then the second time through can end up being better when everyone wants it so badly. Do you have any concerns with that 200 level in particular?
Okay, so I think you're asking about the death cross, right? Am I concerned about the death cross here? Okay, so first of all, I would love for this stock to get bamboozled at the 50, because if we get a little bit of resistance there and that kind of brings the price in, that's going to change some of the opinions of those folks that are all looking at the same thing. And then if we get a nice trigger through that, we could have a Bobby Dazzler on our hands, and this could go even higher. I'm looking at that 200 as more of a target. I suspect, given this move here, we would probably want to cool off. The other thing here about this move is that if we do take out that 50, go up to the 200, I mean, our RSI is sitting at 60 right now. That actually might approach overbought levels, and then you could really kind of add something else to the mix there for a potential, I don't know, what downside red flag do we want to call it? Just to kind of directly answer your question about the death cross and the golden cross, I suppose, on the other side, I definitely look at them. I definitely think about it. But to be honest, we were just looking at, I wish I could remember for the life of me what stock it was. We were just looking at a stock earlier, I think this morning, where a stock had a golden cross that didn't really do anything from it. Sometimes these work, and it's good to have an idea for them, but it's not written in stone. These things can change. And again, I'm going to use some other triggers here to determine if I should play this. I'm not just going to be like, well, a death cross, so it's off the list for me. Let me tell you something. If it finds some resistance there at the 50 and then punches through it on good volume, I think that's going to the 200. Now, it's only 7 points. But if you're using options, there's a pretty good trade in there if you time that right.
Well, I mean, what's interesting about that is, and one of the reasons I said it right now there was, there's been, I can't remember any of the names right now, but there's at least 5 or 6 stocks that we were randomly looking at on the show in the last week that not only had a death cross, but then had a consolidation after and broke out the top. So the operative mechanic was, hey, here's a short setup that a lot of people like, and then all of a sudden it consolidates off it and then breaks it out, essentially trapping people in the other direction. Now, sometimes these things do fall on that move, but what's interesting is, we've said this before, you can obviously find trades anywhere, but a lot of times you want to think about the counterparty. And if you can ever trap people in the other direction in an obvious sense, it's going to be good. That's why GameStop does what it did, or that's what, Tesla with gamma squeezing, because you can understand the mechanics of what's going on the other side, which can work in your favor with an obvious technical level. Like I'm kind of hoping that happens. We like trading in Coinbase a heck of a lot there. So a lot of times you can trap it. So it can be on the back of the radar. Now I have to ask you something here, because your team, look, you know what, before we get you out of here, we're going to let you have any final ideas that you want to share with us. But I really need I'm starting the Chicago Bears defense this weekend. And I'm considering benching the Bills defense versus Baltimore to start the Bears. So I need you to help me with that decision, because in my core, if you looked at right now, my insides are churning right now, because that decision is killing me. So give me some good words on the Bears, and then on top of that, if you have any final ideas, let us all know.
Okay, so my final idea I was intending for that to be Coinbase, because I do think we're going to get a trade out of this. So I don't have anything else for you. And I do have some words here on the Bears. So tough for me to sit here right now and tell you what to start on your fantasy team. But I really do think the Bears are likely to outscore this week. There are a couple of things going on here. You have a West Coast team traveling to the Midwest to play a noon game. The other thing about the Rams is that they get up for these big games, right? Like they just had this great comeback win against a division rival. I feel like this is kind of a letdown game for them. I feel like you're going to see that. You don't have Puka Nacua. You don't have
Cooper Kupp.
So you got guys like Jalen Johnson and Kyler Gordon and Tyreek Stevenson and Kevin Barrett. I mean, they're going to eat these other receivers up. I understand Matthew Stafford's great. I watched him play against the Bears a lot.
He's good.
When he was in Detroit. So I'm well aware of how good he is. No shade there. My quarterback personally treats him or considers him an idol. Caleb Williams considers him an idol, one of the best ever. So I understand and have respect. That team is banged up. They're coming off a big win. Emotionally, they're going to be sapped. They're from the West Coast going east to play a noon game. I just think this sets up for the Caleb Williams get right game. He's made clear strides the last 2 weeks. Hopefully the offensive line has learned how to block another man. And that way this week we could actually see some explosive offense from this team. So I think if you get that, this Bears defense is going to feast. They might even get a touchdown for you on D.
Well, now you've said that, I'm going to have to hold that to you. So everybody mark that down right now that Ryan told me that I'm going to get my fantasy defense to score a touchdown. So we're going to hold you accountable to that because I need the win. I'm sitting like second in points, and I'm under 500 in the pool. We do like 2 matchups a week, and then the first week we do 1 matchup. So that's a weird record. I'm like 2 and 3. I'm literally second in points and almost number 1 there. But it is what it is. That's why fantasy is fun. Thank you so much, Ryan. It's always fun to have you on here. An absolute blast. And I do appreciate, knowing that we had something going on right now and kind of chipping in and having a little bit of fun with that. So have a fantastic weekend. For this week, I guess, go Bears. I have no reason to not say that because I really don't like the Rams, so who cares? So go Bears. Have an awesome weekend, sir.
And don't worry, man. Your Bills are going to the Super Bowl. One more thing. I have no idea what's going on right now, but I love to have fun. And as soon as I saw what was going on, I was like, oh, yeah, I'm game. So hopefully at some point somebody can explain it. Hopefully it's for a good cause. Have a great weekend.
It's for a great cause, as always. No, one of our viewers basically just challenged me with Super Chats how many times I could do it. He would drop $5 every single time. But it wasn't just saying meow. It was I had to replace now with meow. So like So
that's Super Troopers right now. No, I've seen that movie. Absolutely, I get it.
Okay, so you got the reference. I mean, there it is right there. Yeah. See, look, smart trader, great dude, loves quality movies. Thank you so much, Ryan Faluna from Benzinga. We'll see you next week. You're the man. Have a good one.
Take care. Have a good weekend.
Okay, we had a lot of fun with this. And so Spark Shop, I'll tell you right now, we're going to do the roll call, obviously, but let's give all the respect in the world to Spark Shop. Because if you watched our show, for us here at Trader TV Live, we try to keep it real. Like, we'll show you winning trades and losing trades. We'll have pie in our faces. Like, you saw how ridiculously stupid it was that I traded Mara instead of Coinbase and one moonshotted today. It happens, and you got to be mea culpa, and we'll let you guys know. But Spark Shop, you stepped up to the plate, and you absolutely delivered on your word. And I'll tell you this right now. It's like Tony Montana said, all you have in this world is your balls and your word. And I don't break them for no one. So we keep it real around here, and I'm going to keep it real. I have all the respect for people keeping their word. Like, it's, respect is a thing that is earned, and you absolutely have everybody's here today. So thank you so much for that. I'll leave it at that, and we can have fun like this. If you're ever here, then beers are on me because you've definitely earned it, Spark Shop. So everybody in the chat, I always start off the same way for roll call, but let's make sure we thank Spark Shop for a fantastic idea so we can have a little bit of fun, but also for being a part of our great community. And hey, Davis as well, because you had a great idea as well, even though it was a little bit, I didn't want to do that one. I actually felt like I was being mean a little bit there. But thank you so much, Hey Davis, the entire chat. And let's give a big shout out and a big thanks to Bears versus Bulls, the best moderator in the business. You are truly the absolute best. I want to thank the entire team as well. Obviously, Sean and Brendan. Big shout out and thank you to Fabian, Ramin, and Andre as well. Although that chair is empty because Fabian's spinning it. He's just standing off to the side, which you can't see. I'm breaking the illusion, Fabian. He's right there. And a big shout out and thank you to not just Joe this week for filling, but for Sataya filling in. doing a great job on that midday. Adair is going to be back on the desk next week, to be sure. Let's get a little roll call in here, everybody. So we've got the names up. Shout out to Spark Shop, Spark Shop, Spark Shop, Spark Shop, and Spark Shop, the most fun of our community here today. We got West, y'all, number 1. Jay Haas. We got Chase Bandits. We got The Piper. Cap, even though we're no cap. Andrew Chow. Hey Davis. Lots of fun with that. We love these ideas to just spice things up a little bit. Bora Hout. We got Monty G. We got Down to Sky. Wada Malone. Dr. Fez. Random Oddities. Gorev again. Raul. Freddy the Friendly Guy 2.0. Hurry! Yatube37, Andrew Chow, Derek Thompson, Jersey Sean, Breaking, VWAP, Marlon B. It always does this skip thing here. Blue Arrow, Ed S, Brian again, Mr. Misunderstood. We got Nephew, Weta, Capital P, Bob S, J Haas, Benjamin Smart, Jam Lossy, Charmine Khan, TC, Blue Arrow, Zion Lala, what up? We got Baseball Card Will. Man, I love collecting baseball cards. We got Tina Pie. We've got Cap again. We got TX Trader. We got Tay2 Certified. Tyler ATX. Monty again. Palm Trees and Good Vibes. Mr. Westermeyer, what up? D Win Florida. Hey, everyone in Florida, be safe. Rough storm going through there. Juan Pidi in the chat. Ed S. Meow, meow. So there it is, everybody. We're running over time here, as Fabian's reminding me. It's a lot of fun doing this every single day. I'll tell you right now, to be able to trade live for you and do the show for you guys, it's just a blessing that you guys make it fun for us too, because, you're sitting there talking all day long, live trading. It's so much easier when you have a fantastic community like Trader TV Live does. So I want to thank each and every single one of you. And the best thing about all of it is next week we get to do it all over again. Next week, we have the SMCI split coming on Tuesday and the aftermath of the nonsense that's going on with them. Hopefully some more moves in some of the Chinese ADRs. But hey, we're Trader TV Live, and we'll be back for all of that. But for right now, we'll say goodbye for the weekend. That's the last one. Have fun, everybody.